Innovation, integration, industry-based learning, inspiration. This is the Division of Panabo City, the forefront of eradicating illiteracy.
Kabataan, makisabay ka na.
Kahit may pandemya, huwag madismaya.
Dahil ang solusyo'y nakabang na, sabay tayong matuto at magsaya.
Ikaw at ako, sabay switch on na.
Tara na't matuto na in 3, 2, 1, let's go!
TV, Aralan. TV, kasiyahan. TV,
Kaalaman!
halina
Sumama sa bagong paaralan. Para papa. Sariling galing ay paiitingin.
Kaalaman ay huwag patigilin.
Karagdagang talino ay matutuklasan na. Buksan ang TV, sarili handa.
Kayang ballpen at papel, tayo'y matutunan.
Tara tumutok na! 3, 2, 1, let's go!
TV, Aralan. TV, kasiyahan. TV,
Kaalaman!
halina
Sumama sa bagong paaralan. TV,
Aralan.
TV,
Kaalaman.
TV, Arungan! Halina't matuto sa makabagong paraan.
Ang isip Panabo.
Handang isip handa bukas. Halina sumama sa bagong paaralan.
Responding to the challenge nowadays, embracing the new normal stitch ways. Visayas Central Elementary School is ready to air lessons for your modules. Oh, laging handa, tutulungan ka, kaya huwag kang mag-alala. Kahit ito'y kakaiba sa nakasanayan na, tumutok na at makinig nang masanay ka pa. Sa pagsagot ng module mo, di ka nag-iisa. Responding to the challenge nowadays, embracing the new normal station ways. The Visayas Central Elementary School is ready to air lessons for your modules. Oh, na 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 hey, na 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 hey, na 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 hey. AM radio for a good start. You are now listening to New Visayas on Air 99.0 AM radio for a good start.
Paminog ka sumanaman migtokul to langit, woy migtumpi to tanok kasublan maroson no kunog kailingan na. Kamigbalin tutuan noy, no sob-sob to kanamin gaynawa, woy migpunan to kanamin umul tumulo na anon na. No migpogpono sa init ampaw to ingod. Sa ini kay kunto manaman amoy no riptibulsan to langit og sampit tumaroson nun ngaran na. Dumat to kay kon mo panisingan na, kakalayag tahon liyag karanga, panayangan na, pamulingan, mandalingan, woy tumo dumapad, sublapad erit harikala, namigbahayan nuto katongoda, tapog nongnong, tapog pataha, oyog patanod-tanod, kanami tamatolos nun tularo, no nakabaglit get ampot kawayhana, oyaw kaasolom, duok ko upianan na, woy katubungan na, magbabayo, sa ini kako din tugtubaro na, igbohoy kuro, di ko'y ko, ka magbabayon mamintoran, manama no olog nogdayrayon.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين اللهم اجمع شمل الأمات والنصارى والمسلمين في الفلبين وسلط مجتمعنا هذا بالسلم والأمن والتقدم في وطننا هذا آمين يا رب العالمين اللهم ارفع عنا البلاء والوباء والزلازل وسيء الأسقام وما ظهر منها وما بطن خاصة كوفيد-19 المنتشرة في العالم يا رب العالمين ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وصل اللهم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم آمين يا رب العالمين.
Almighty Father, Creator of heaven and earth, we adore and worship your holy name, our healer, baptizer, Savior, and coming King. We stand in awe to your every creation in land, seas, and air. We humble ourselves, asking for forgiveness for our trespasses. Purify us, cleanse us, make us worthy to call upon you. We thank you, God, for the salvation you freely gave through Jesus. Today we call unto you to bless us and be a blessing to others. Empower our leaders, our teachers, give courage to the parents and inspiration to the young ones. May we always celebrate life and love. May we always acknowledge that without you, we are nothing. This we pray in the name of the Father, the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Isang layunin, edukasyong may kalidad ay makakamit. Kalinangan ay paigtingin, pagiging positibo ay pananawigin. Isang diwa, isa sa gawa, para sa ikabubuti ng kapwa. Naniniwala na pagmamahal sa bayan ay solusyon sa kinabukasan. Edukasyon sa Panabo, panalo, Panabo ay sigurado. Sangay ng lungsod ng Panabo, aming liyag, minamahal ng may kapal. Bayan ay labis na mamahalin, pantay-pantay na pagtingin, ibabahagi ang katotohanan. Bawat bata ay may karapatan, sama-sama sa pag-abot ng tagumpay. Di susuko sa mga pagsubok sa buhay. Babaunin ang karunungang natutunan, maging mabuting halimbawa sa karamihan. Edukasyon sa Panabo, panalo, Panaboan, sigurado. Sangay ng lungsod ng Panabo, aming liyan, minamahal ng may kapal. Ang aming hangarin ay itatatak sa aming puso't damdamin, maglilingkod ng buong katapatan.
Aming liyan, minamahal.
Nag-iisa at natatangi ka sa walang hanggan.
Ng lungsod ng Panabo. Gising sa umaga, mundo'y naging iba. Si COVID-19, bigla lang dumating. Tayo ay lockdown at home quarantine. At kailangan pang mag-social distancing. Nalulungkot ka ba at ika'y nababagot? Huwag mag-alala dahil kami ay may sagot. Gabay sa iyong pagbasa, si mama at papa, si ate, si kuya, pati na rin si lolo at lola. Sa Reading Delights, tuloy ang pagbasa. Sa Reading Delights, tuloy ang ligaya. Bawat bata, bumabasa. Kahit panahon ng pandemya, we embrace the new normal. Tuloy ang pagbasa, tuloy ang ligaya. Oh, oh. Tuloy ang pagbasa. Oh, oh. Sa Panabo City, ito ang ating bida. Reading the Lights, ito ang ating programa. Sinusulong ang love sa pagbabasa. Ipagpatuloy natin ang nasimula na. Basic curriculum ating ipinatupad. Home remedial reading ay namayapag. Modular at radio-based learning modality. TV Aralan ay di pa huli. Sa Reading Delights, tuloy ang pagbasa. Sa Reading Delights, tuloy ang ligaya. Bawat bata, bumabasa. Kahit panahon ng pandemya, we embrace the new normal. Tuloy ang pagbasa. Sa Reading Delights, tuloy ang pagbasa. Sa Reading Delights, tuloy ang ligaya. Bawat bata, bumabasa. Kahit panahon ng pandemya, we embrace the new normal. Tuloy ang pagbasa, tuloy ang ligaya. Oh, oh. Tuloy ang pagbasa. Oh, oh. Tuloy ang ligaya.
Innovation, integration, industry-based learning, inspiration. This is the Division of Panabo City, the forefront of eradicating illiteracy.
Hello, Panaboans! Maayong buntag, mga ka-reading delights! Mabuhay, Panabo City Division. I'm Teacher Davy Love Ramos Villarmino and welcome sa Limited Stories for Reading Delights. And today is Friday and ngayon po ay December 3, 2021. Yes, thank God it's Friday dahil unlimited stories na naman po ang ating maririnig ngayong araw mula sa mga panibago nating mga story readers. Dito lang yan sa Panabo City Division. Yes, and also we are live from the station of New Visayas on air 99.0 AM radio for a good start. And also live din tayo sa DepEd Panabo Facebook page, sa ating YouTube channel, at also live din tayo sa Panabo City Division Reading Delights page. Yan. And don't forget to like our page and also share this live po para marami pong makarinig ng mga kwento, hindi lang yung anak natin, yung yung mga pamangkin natin o yung mga estudyante natin, pati na rin yung mga kapitbahay natin. So, spread po natin tong live natin today. Share lang. Ayan. And also, don't forget to leave your comments, especially mamaya may mga question and answer portion, no? So, mag-leave po kayo ng mga answers ninyo kasi babasahin po yan ng ating mga story readers. Ayan. And also, sa lahat ng ating viewers today, happy viewing and magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. I'm sure na excited sila kasi every Friday talaga na lagi nilang inaabangan ang mga bagong storya na kanilang naririnig. Ayan. And good morning sa lahat po, lalo na sa mga magulang na I'm sure nandyan, gumagabay sa kanilang mga anak. Ngayon, especially sa mga lower grades, no, na talagang kailangan din gabayan kasi hindi pa nila kaya na sila lang. Di ba? Lalo na pag mga sa computer, kailangan talaga may mga magulang nakatabi. Okay. Tsaka maraming salamat din sa lahat ng ating mga viewers na talagang nandyan nakaantabay sa atin every Friday po. Ayan. So lalong-lalo na good morning sa ating DepEd officials sa Panabo City Division, headed of course by our Schools Division Superintendent Dr. Renante A. Solitario. Magandang umaga po, sir. And of course, magandang umaga rin sa ating Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Ma'am Fabigay L. Refamonte. Good morning sa iyo, ma'am. At sa ating CID Chief na si Sir Januario Yamota. Good morning, sir. Sa ating SGOD Chief na si Ma'am Aileen Anyunuevo. Hello, ma'am. Magandang umaga po. And especially sa lahat ng Education Program Supervisor, magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. At sa head ng program natin sa Unlimited Stories for Reading Delights, sa ating Education Program Supervisor in English, at ang ating Division Reading Coordinator na walang iba kundi si Ma'am Maria Perpetua Angelita Suelto. Hello, ma'am! Good morning na talagang nakasupervise every Friday sa ating program. Ayan. And also magandang umaga din sa ating Education Program Supervisor sa Filipino na si Sir Peter Mijares at sa ating Education Program Supervisor sa MTV na si Ma'am Joanny Aguilar. Hello, ma'am. Magandang umaga. At sa ating Education Program Supervisor sa Aralan Panipunan na si Ma'am Marisa Vihayoma. Ayan, magandang umaga sa iyo, ma'am. At sa lahat ng ating Education Program Supervisor. Ayan. Ay, correct ko lang sa Araling Panipunan po na Education Program Supervisor. Ayan. Then, magandang umaga din sa lahat ng District Coordinators ng Reading. I'm sure na talagang nakikipag-communicate sila ngayon sa lahat ng mga teachers, lahat ng mga estudyante para lang malaman nila na meron na naman tayong panibagong episode today. Ayan. And of course, good morning din sa lahat ng Public Schools District Supervisors. Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat at lalong-lalo na sa aming school principal, Sir Julius I. Suelto. Hello, sir. Good morning sa lahat ng school heads po sa Panabo City Division. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. So hindi ko na patatagalin kasi I'm sure na talagang excited lahat ng ating mga estudyante ngayon kasi may panibago tayong story na mapakikinggan ngayong araw. So abangan nyo yan, kids. And I'm sure na talagang ma-excite kayo every Friday sa bagong episode na na magsisimula ngayon pa lang. So mamaya ko na sasabihin para medyo mabitin kayo, no, para mag-wonder kayo, bakit ano yung bago, di ba? So antabayanan nyo yan maya-maya. Ayan. So this time, ipapakilala ko na ang ating first story reader this morning po. So ang ating first story reader this morning, she is from Rizal Elementary School. And magandang umaga naman sa kanilang school principal na si Ma'am Ramelin Antalan. Hello, ma'am. And of course, ang kanilang reading program ay Rizal, Reading Ingenuity Zealous to Achieve Learning. At ang title po ng kanyang story na kanyang ibabahagi sa atin ngayong araw ay Pipito. So ito ay kwento ni Ofelia E. Concepcion, ginuhit naman ni Marvin Romero. Ito ay ibabahagi po sa atin ni Ma'am Emelita Flores.
Innovation, integration, industry-based learning, inspiration. This is the Division of Panabo City, the forefront of eradicating illiteracy.
Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Magandang umaga mga bata. Handa na ba kayong makinig? Ngayon, buksan natin ating tenga at lawakan ang isipan. At makinig sa aking kwento ngayong umaga. Ngayon ay araw na naman ng Biyernes. At tayo ay aliwin ng iba't ibang kwento na may hatid na kasiyahan, kapupulutan ng magagandang aral. Kumusta na kaya ang mga bata nandyan sa kanilang mga tahanan? Naway nasa mabuti kayong kalagayan at mayroong mabuting kalusugan. Ako pala si Teacher Emmy na magkukwento sa inyo ngayong umaga. Ngayon ay makakasama rin natin ang ating pupil interactor na si Rhea, Georgette, and Avarquez, isang mag-aaral sa Paralang Elementarya ng Rizal, SSE, pangkat SSES. Kumusta ka na, Rhea?
Okay na po, teacher.
Handa ka na ba, Rhea?
Opo. Good morning,
Okay.
teacher.
So, bago tayo magsisimula, Rhea, pagsisimula tayo sa pagbabaybay ng mga salita na ating aalamin na nasa talasalitaan. Handa ka na ba, Rhea?
Handang-handa.
Okay, kung handa na, ito na ang ating tingnan natin. Makinig ka ng mabuti ha sa unang salita na ating aalamin. At huwag kalimutang tandaan ang bawat kahulugan ng bawat salita na aking sasabihin. Gets ba natin, Rhea?
Opo.
Okay, ito ang unang salita. Okay, ang unang salita na iyong babaybayin ay salitang hawla.
Hawla. Hawla.
Okay, tingnan natin kung tama ba o tumpak ang sagot ni Ray. Okay, tumpak, tama ang iyong sagot, Ray. Ang ibig sabihin nito ay sisidlan o kulungan ng hayop upang ang hayop ay hindi makawala. Okay, kasunod, pangalawang salita na ating aalamin ang kahulugan. Makinig, Ray. Ang pangalawang salita ay mapanganib. Tingnan natin kung kaya ba ni Rhea na baybayin ang salitang mapanganib.
M-A-P-A-N-G-A-N-I-B. Mapanganib.
Tumpak! Tama ang sagot ni Rhea. Ang ibig sabihin, ito ay delikado o nakakapinsala sa isang tao o isang bagay. Tandaan mo, Rhea, ha? Ang ibig sabihin o pakahulugan ng mapanganib, ito ay delikado o nakakapinsala sa isang tao o isang bagay. Maraming salamat. Rhea, ang pangatlo nating salita na alamin natin ang kahulugan ay ang sumuway. Okay. Sige, Rhea, go! Baybayin mo na ang salitang sumuway.
S-U-M-U-W-A-Y. Sumuway.
Tama! Tamang-tama ang iyong sagot, Rhea. Tingnan natin kung tama ba ang baybay niya. Okay, tumpak. Ngayon, ang kahulugan naman nitong salitang sumuway, ito ay hindi pagsunod sa utos, payo o bilin. Tandaan, sumuway, ito ay ang ibig sabihin, ito ay hindi pagsunod sa utos, payo o bilin. Okay, ang pang-apat, meron pa tayong pang-apat na salita, Rhea. Ito ay ang kawan. Okay, tingnan natin kung mabaybay ba ni Rhea ng pwesto. Sige, tingnan natin, Rhea, go na.
K-A-W-A-N. Kawan.
Tama, kawan. Tumpak ang iyong sagot. Tama ang pagkabaybay. So, ito ang kahulugan. Kawan. Ito ay grupo, pangkat ng mga hayop. So tandaan, kawan, ito ay grupo o pangkat ng mga hayop. Kung makikita natin sa larawan, Rhea, ito ay isang halimbawa ng pangkat o grupo ng mga hayop. Okay. Ang panglimang salita ay mapatid. Tingnan natin. Baybayin mo ulit o baybayin mo ang salitang mapatid.
M-A-P-A-T-I-D. Mapatid.
Okay. Tama ang iyong sagot, Rhea. Tumpak. Tama ang pagkabaybay. Okay. So, tingnan natin kung tama talaga ang pagkabaybay ng salita. Okay. Mapatid. Ang kahulugan nito, ang ibig sabihin ay maputol. Makikita natin sa larawan, Rhea, isa sa halimbawa ay ang lubid. Di ba? Nakita natin lubid. So, mapatid means o ang ibig sabihin ay maputol. Okay. Ngayon, Rhea, ang galing-galing ni Rhea. Kaya halina't samahan niyo ako sa ating pagkukwento. Ito ay isang kwento ng isang ibon na nagngangalang Pipito. Okay. Handang-handa na ba kayong makinig sa kwento? Rhea, ikaw handa ka na ba talaga?
Opo.
Okay, aba, syempre, handang-handang na talaga si Rhea. Okay, ang kwentong ito ay isinulat o kinuwento ni Ofelia B. E. Concepcion at iginuhit ni Marvin Romero. Okay, ngayon magsisimula na tayo. Okay, ang unang pangyayari, sige, makinig tayo ng mabuti. Si Pipito ay isang batang ibon. Hindi pa siya gaanong nakakalipad. Dito siya nakatira kasama ang kanyang ina at dalawang kapatid. Rhea, ano ang pangalan ng batang ibon sa kwento sa unang talata na aking ikinuwento sa iyo?
Pipito.
Okay, tumpak. Tama yung sagot. Ang galing ni Rhea. Okay, si Pipito ang pangalan ng ibon na nasa kwento na ating pag-uusapan ngayon. Okay. Pagpatuloy natin, Rhea, ha? Hindi pa tayo tapos sa ating kwento. Gustong-gusto nang makalipad ni Pipito. Naiinggit siya sa mga ibong nakakalipad na ng mataas at nakakarating sa iba't ibang lugar. Sunod, ito, tanong muna ako sa iyo. Ano ang dahilan kung bakit naiinggit si Pipito sa mga ibon? A. Dahil malulusog ang mga ito. B. Dahil nakakalipad ang mga ito ng mataas at nakakapunta sa iba't ibang lugar. Letrang C, dahil magaganda ang mga ito. Ano kaya ang sagot mo, Rhea?
Letrang B. Dahil
Okay.
nakakalipad ang mga ito na mataas at nakakapunta sa iba't ibang lugar.
Tumpak! Tama ang iyong sagot, Rhea. Nakuha mo talaga ang kwento sa pangalawa nating talata. Ngayon, ang kasunod ng ating kwento ay ito. Laging sinasabihan si Pipito ng nanay niya, hintayin mo ang tamang panahon na malakas na ang iyong pakpak. Huwag kang magmamadali. May tamang oras, panahon ang lahat. Pit, 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 pit. Hindi naniniwala si Pipito sa nanay niya. Ang alam kasi niya ay sobra silang pinaprotektahan nito. Tweet, 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 tweet. Mapanganib, mabuti na ang nag-iingat, sabi nito sa kanila. Sa araw-araw ay lumalala ang pagkabakot ni Pipito. Malaki na tayo! Kaya na natin lumipad! Anyas sa mga kapatid. Hindi pa rin tayo dapat sumuway kay nanay, sabi ng dalawa. Upang hindi mabagot ang mga anak, ay tinuruan silang umawit ng nanay nila. Masayang umawit ang dalawang kapatid ni Pipito. Ngayon, magtatanong muna ako sa iyo, Rhea, o sa mga nanonood natin ngayon. Ano ang ginawa ng ibon upang hindi mabagot ang mga anak niya? O ang mga anak ng ibon? Anong ginawa ng ina? A. Tinuruan ang mga anak na umawit. B. Tinuruan ang mga anak na lumipad. C. Tinuruan ang mga anak na sumayaw. Ano kaya ang tamang sagot?
Letrang A. Tinuruan ang mga anak na umawit.
Okay, sa atin ding manunood, tama din ang sagot ni Olive Martinez. No? Ang galing din nila. Okay, pagpatuloy natin ang ating kwento, Rhea, para hindi tayo mabitin. Okay, so ang tamang sagot ay letrang A. Isang araw ay nagpaalam ang ina ni Pipito. Baka gabi na ako makabalik. Mag-ingat kayo. Bilin ng inang ibon. Tweet, 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 tweet. Mag-ingat din po kayo, nanay, sabi ng munting ibon. Tweet, 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 tweet. Ngayon, ang kasunod. Sa kalilipad ay napalayo si Pipito. Sinundan kasi niya ang isang kawan ng mga ibon. Tuwang-tuwa siya. Hindi maipaliwanag ang nadarama. Ang kasunod, nagulat si Pipito nang makitang isa-isang nalaglag mula sa ere ang mga ibon. Tinirador pala ang mga ito ng ilang mga bata. At ang kasunod, magtatanong si teacher Emmy, bakit kaya nalalaglagan ang mga ibon mula sa ere? A. Dahil hindi makalipad ang mga ibon. B. Dahil napagod ang mga ibon. C. Dahil tinitirador ng ilang mga bata ang mga ibon. Ano kayang tamang sagot?
Letrang C. Dahil tinitirador ng ilang mga bata ang mga ibon.
Ang galing-galing talaga ni Rhea. Meron din sa ating tagapanood. Tama din ang sagot ni Laika Amarillo. Congratulations, Amarillo, Laika, na tama ang iyong sagot. Okay, so ipagpatuloy natin ang maganda pang kwento kasi medyo mahaba-haba pa ang ating kwento ngayon. Okay, tingnan natin ang kasunod na pangyayari. Sa sobrang takot ay nagsisiksik sa isang sulok si Pipito. Nang makakita ng pagkakataon ay mabilis siyang kumandilit papalayo. At nakarating si Pipito sa bakuran ng isang bahay. Nakita niya ang isang hawla na nakabitin sa puno. Tulungan mo ako! Pakiusap ng munting ibon na nasa loob ng hawla. Tinuka ni Pipito ang taling lubid ng hawla. Nang mapatid ang tali, ay bumagsak iyon at bumukas ang pinto. Nakawala ang nakakulong na ibon. Salamat, Anito! Tit, 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 tit. Hindi nakapagpahinga si Pipito nang makita siya ng alagang pusa. Nilundag siya nito. Mabuti na lang at nakalipad agad siya. Sa paghahanap ng daan, pauwi sa kanila ay may napansin si Pipito. Kakaunti na ang puno na maaaring dapuan. Ang mga sapa at daluyan ng tubig ay marumi at hindi na maaaring inuman. Mapanganib din sa isang ibon ang makita ng mga tao. Binabato ng mga bata at pinaglalaruan. Hinuhuli naman sila ng mga matatanda para ipagbili o kainin. Doon, naisip ni Pipito kung bakit gayon na lang ang pag-aalala ng nanay niya na huwag silang aalis o lalayo sa pugad. Doon kasi ay ligtas sila. Napakaganda ng kwento, pero may kasunod pa, hindi pa tayo nagtatapos. Patuloy natin. Punong-puno ng pagsisisi si Pipito. Ito pala ang dahilan kung bakit hinihigpitan sila ng ina para pala ito o para pala yon sa kanilang kabutihan. Lumipas ang mga araw. Nawawalan na ng pag-asa si Pipito. Nanghihina na siya dahil sa pagod at walang kawalan ng pagkain. Isang umaga, may narinig siya. Tweet, 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 tweet. Napagasigaw sa tuwa si Pipito. Nakita siya ng ina. Hindi tumigil sa paghahanap ang inang ibon hanggang sa makita siya. Patawad, ina! Patawad po, inay! Tweet, 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 tweet. Umiyak niyang sabi. Bakit napasigaw si Pipito sa tuwa? Base doon sa ating pagkukwento. A. Dahil nakapulot siya ng pagkain. B. Dahil nakapamasyal siya sa iba't ibang lugar. At letrang C. Dahil sa wakas ay natatagpuan siya ng ina. Ano kaya ang sagot mo, Rhea?
Letrang C. Dahil sa wakas ay natagpuan siya ng ina.
Okay, tumpak! Ang galing ni Rhea. Tama ang iyong sagot. Masaya siya. Naging masaya siya at napasigaw siya bigla dahil nakita niya sa wakas at natagpuan siya ng kanyang ina. Tumpak din ang sagot ni Cyril Jetro. No? Magaling din. Maraming nakakuha ng tumpak na sagot. Ang galing-galing ng ating mga mag-aaral na nanonood ngayong umaga. Magaling kayong lahat. Salamat sa pagkaroon ng partisipasyon sa ating virtual na pagkukwento ngayon. At ang kasunod ng sa ating kwento ay pagpatuloy natin ha. Nakabalik si Pipito sa sariling pugad, sa piling ng ina at mga kapatid. Hindi na siya maghahangad na lumayo. Alam na niya ang kapalit kapag naging pasaway na anak. Okay? Napakaganda ng kwento, no? So, doon nagwawakas ang ating kwento. Ang kwento ni Pipito. Okay. So, nabasa ko rin sa mga bahagi ng inyong mga sagot na halos lahat ng ating mga nanonood at sumasubaybay ng mga mag-aaral ay tumpak ang kanilang mga sagot. Ngayon, meron mo na akong panghuling mga katanungan base doon sa ikinuwento ko sa inyong tungkol kay Pipito. Ito ang aking gustong malaman. At sa iyo, Rhea, naibigan mo ba ang kwento?
Opo.
Okay, maraming salamat, Rhea. At naibigan mo ang ating kwento tungkol sa maliit na ibon na nagbago at na intindihan niya na hindi tama yung pagsuway sa magulang. Okay. Ngayon, tingnan natin ang sagot natin sa chat box natin. Opo, maraming sumasagot. Opo, maraming salamat din sa inyo na naibigan nyo ang aking kwento sa umagang ito. Ngayon, may kasunod pa. Tingnan natin kung ano ito. Ano-anong mga aral ang natutuhan mo sa kwento, Rhea? Sige, Rhea, pakinggan ko kung ano talaga yung natutuhan mo o aral na nakukuha mo o natutunan mo sa ating kwento ngayong umaga.
Ang mga aral na natutuhan ko sa kwento ay una, sumunod sa pabilin ng mga magulang. Pangalawa, huwag magmamadali dahil may tamang panahon sa lahat ng bagay.
Ang galing-galing mo, Rhea! Salamat sa iyong sagot. Magaling talaga si Rhea. Alam nyo, si Rhea, makita natin no, na ang kanyang halos lahat ng kanyang sagot ay tumpak at ang ating mga nanonood ngayon. Maraming salamat, Rhea, sa iyong maganda at meron kaming aral din na nakukuha sa iyong sagot na natutuhan sa kwento na pwede nating gamitin sa pang-araw-araw nating pamumuhay bilang anak, no? Sa hindi pagsuway sa magulang dahil wala itong magandang maidudulot. 'Di ba, Rhea? Tama ba si Teacher Amy, Rhea?
Opo.
Aba, syempre. Ang galing-galing talaga ni Rhea. Okay, so ang kasunod natin ngayon, meron pa ba tayong kasunod na katanungan? Tingnan natin. Okay, ito na. Tapos na tayo. So, tapos na ang kwento na ating ikinuwento ko ngayong umaga. So, sa ating tagapanood, ngayon ay panahon na ng pagpapasalamat. Tingnan natin muna ha, yung mga nasa chat box natin. So, merong mga sagot dito na natutunan, sundin ang payo ng magulang at maging hindi daw mapasaway. Pare-pareho kayo ng sagot, Rhea. Okay, mayroon tayong aral na napupulot doon sa kwento na kailangan gawin natin at ating saluubin na kung saan nagpapakita ng magandang pag-uugali. Okay? So, maraming salamat sa ating mga taga-subaybay. Maraming salamat po sa ibinahagi ninyong partisipasyon sa araw na ito. Ang galing talaga ni Rhea. Sa iyong mga magulang, Rhea, na si Ginoong at Ginang Abarquez, maraming salamat po sa pagpapaunlak po sa amin na maging bahagi sa aming Unlimited Stories for Reading the Lies, ang inyong mabait at masunuring anak. Binabati at pinasasalamatan ko rin ang aming punong guro na si Ginang Ramilin F. Antalan, si Ginang Lulibet T. Vidal, sa kanyang gurong tagapagpayo ni Rhea sa ikatlong baitang pangkat SSES ng RES. Sa lahat po ng bumubuo at kabahagi ng New Visayas Central Elementary School, AIM Radio 99.0 at sa programang Panabo City Reading Delights, lalong-lalo na po sa kanilang punong guro na si Ginoong Julius I. Suelto, Ginoong Peter Mijares, Supervisor sa Filipino, at si Ginang Perpetua Angelita Suelto na Supervisor sa English. Maraming salamat sa inyo at muli si Teacher Emmy ay mag-iiwan ng kasabihan. Makinig! Walang maidudulot na kabutihan kapag tayo'y sumuway sa mga tagubilin ng ating magulang. Ang pagbabasa ay pagkakaroon ng isang tunay na kaibigan. Kaya, isipay, pagyamanin, aklat ang babasahin. Maraming salamat sa inyong lahat na tumatangkili sa programang ito. Naway, lahat tayo ay pagpalain ng Diyos. Sa lahat po ng hanggang ngayon, ako po ay nag-anyaya sa inyo na lahat tayo ay sumubaybay sa Reading the Lights. Yun lang po at dito na tayo magtatapos, Rhea. Maraming salamat.
Bye-bye!
Innovation, integration, industry-based learning, inspiration. This is the Division of Panabo City, the forefront of eradicating illiteracy.
Ayan, yan po ang ating kauna-unahang story reader this morning na si Ma'am Emelita Flores of Rizal Elementary School. Siya po ang nagbahagi ng kwento sa Filipino Kinder to Grade 3 na may pamagat na si Pipito. Ayan, I'm sure na marami kayong natutunan na aral sa kwento na kanyang ibinahagi sa atin na dapat talaga sumunod tayo at makinig sa ating mga magulang at huwag maging pasaway. Lagi niyong tandaan yan mga bata. Napakahalaga niyan. Kasi lahat ng payo, lahat ng sinasabi ng mga magulang natin ay para sa ating kabutihan. Kaya huwag nating suwayin yon. At saka para hindi rin tayo mapahama. Kasi alam nila na saan patungo yung ginagawa natin. Kaya nire-remind nila tayo, pinasasabihan nila tayo para alam natin na tama na, wag na nating itigil na natin yung mga mali nating ginagawa. Susundin lamang natin sila kasi sila yung mas nakakaalam talaga. Yan. At saka maraming salamat din sa ating pupil interactor na si Rhea Georgette Abarquez of Rizal Elementary School. Ayan. At maraming salamat sa iyong magulang na nagpahintulot sa iyo na maging bahagi ng ating programa ngayong araw. Ayan. So, napakagandang kwento and I'm sure gusto nyo pang marinig ng panibagong kwento. Kaya this time, ipapakilala ko na ang ating pangalawang story reader this morning. This is for English, Kinder 2, Grade 3. And our second story reader this morning ay isang batikang story reader po siya. I'm sure na lagi niyo siyang nakikita every Friday kasi by schedule kami, no. So, nakikita niyo na siya at I'm sure may iba diyan, may mga fan na sa kanya, lalo na yung mga estudyante niya na inaabangan talagang storya niya ngayong araw. She's from San Vicente Elementary School at ang kanilang school principal po ay si Ma'am Rosemary S. Patriarca. Hello ma'am, magandang umaga sa iyo. At ang kanilang reading program ay Read Alert. So the title of the story is Jessie the Rabbit, and this is illustrated by myillustration.com, and this will be shared to us by Ma'am Jeneline C. Hamago.
Innovation, integration, industry-based learning, inspiration. This is the Division of Panabo City, the forefront of eradicating illiteracy.
Hello and good morning to all our unlimited stories for reading the light viewers and listeners out there. I hope and I pray that you are safe, that you are well wherever you are in your respective places and homes. All right. It's Friday again, and Friday means it's reading day. Am I right? Okay. I have no pupil interactor for today. I'm kind of sad, but it's okay. I hope that you, our live viewers, will participate with me as I go on to our story today. So, please feel free to share your answers, your views, your insights about our story today. So, without further ado, we will begin our story. Okay. Our story for K to Free English is a fable. You know what is a fable? Okay, according to our slide, a fable is a story, typically with animals as characters, conveying a moral. So our story today is a fable. Okay, before we proceed to our story proper, let's have first some words and its meaning. The first word is startled. Since I don't have a people interactor today, so I will read the meaning and I will also spell the word for you to remember it later. Okay, we will we will go through the following words because we will encounter it later during our story. Okay, the first word is startled. 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 It means feeling or showing sudden shock or alarm. Startled. The next word is trampling. 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 It means to inflict injury or destruction. Trampling. The third word is stashed. 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 It means store something and secretly in a specified place. Stashed. The fourth word is squeal. 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 It means a long, high pitched cry or noise. Squeal. And the fifth word is smashed. Smashed. It means violently or badly broken or shattered. Smashed. Okay, those are the five words that we will encounter later in our story. Are you ready, kids? All right, our story today for K to Free English is entitled Jessie the Rabbit. Jessie the Rabbit by T. Albert, illustrated by maaillustrations.com. Jessie the rabbit was eating a carrot in a green meadow one sunny day. He watched the other animals run around and play, and he admired them. He had always been the shy one, and they were always playing without him. Okay, I have here a question for our live viewers. Please feel free to share your answer. Okay, Jesse did not join the animals playing because blank. Jesse did not join the animals playing because blank. A. He was shy. B. Tired. C. He was afraid. Or letter D. He was not feeling well. Oh wow. I see lots of answers here and all of them answers letter A. From Julia Rachel Hope, Unessa, who else? Jezreel, Rian, Fressy, Nezel, Juries, all of them answers letter A, and you are correct. The answer is letter A. He was shy. Okay, let's continue. They made fun of him because he got startled so easily. If a tree if a tree fell somewhere in the forest, he would rush into his rabbit hole and hide for the rest of the day. You're such a scared cat, Jessie, Teddy the cub once said when she passed by him. You never have any fun, Jessie. But Jessie the rabbit was a cautious and wise rabbit. He knew better than to ignore every sound. All right, I have here another question. Why did the other animals make fun of Jessie? Why did the other animals make fun of Jessie? A, is it because he was bullied? Or B, because he was not friendly? C, because he got startled so easily? Or letter D, because he hid in the hole for the rest of the day? Excuse me. All right. Wow. We have here from Julia, Diana, Maria, Rafi, Unico, Artelia, Mackie, and Pressy. They answered letter C, and you are all correct. Okay, next let's proceed to our story. I may look stupid and scared, but I will always be prepared for danger, thought Jesse. He would hide and curl up every time he heard a crack or saw a shadow loom over his hole. One fine day, just like any other, a distant crack was heard. A tree fell down and a light brightly burned. Jesse darted into his hole while the other animals continued frolicking around. Jesse shouted as loud as he could, Run! But no one heard him, so he jumped inside his hole and curled up into a ball. While Jesse was hiding, he could still hear the other animals laughing. Then all of a sudden, Jesse heard some squeals, some running, and then Beaver started shouting, The forest is on fire! The forest is on fire! Everybody run! The fire is spreading! The beaver continued to shout as he ran past Jesse's hole. The whole forest was in a wild panic. All right, another question. What happened in the forest one day? What happened in the forest one day? A. The forest was on fire. B. The forest was in storm. C. The forest was in trouble. Or letter D. The forest was in dark and deep. Okay, we have here plenty of interactors live from our live viewers. Roxanne, Janelle, Johan, CJ, Diana Maki, Precious, Sian, Jane, Lee. Okay, they all got the correct answer. It is letter A. Okay, thank you so much for your participation. Now let's continue. Trampling everything, the animals ran away, leaving behind a cloud of dust and the forest on fire. Only Jesse was left in his hiding place, safe beneath the ground. Jesse had cleverly stashed away a supply of food and water in his hole. He knew that one day danger would come, and he wanted to be prepared. He was relieved to know he had supplies to last until the fire was over. In the distance, Jessie could hear a loud squeal. Help! Someone help me, please! Jesse did not want to come out of his hole, as he knew that the fire was spreading. But then he heard a squeal, a second and third time. Jesse couldn't hide in his hole while someone was out there in his own. All right, another question. What was Jesse heard in the distance? What was Jesse heard in the distance? A. He heard someone laughing. B. He heard someone running. C. He heard someone singing. Or letter D. He heard someone asking for help. All right. Wow. Another answers from our live viewers from Bob, Martin, Sheila, Jezreel, Jane, Rian, Sian. We have Frissy, Rain. Okay, thank you so much for your answer. You are all correct. The correct answer is letter D. He heard someone asking for help. And it was Teddy the cop. Okay, let's continue. Jesse slowly raised his head from his hole. He could see the flaming trees all around. He heard another squeal and turned his head to see Teddy the cob lying down with leg caught beneath a thick, fallen branch. The ground around him was burning and the fire was getting closer. Then Jesse was very scared, but couldn't just leave Teddy there. Huffing and puffing, he rushed with incredible speed towards Teddy. Jesse, please, you need to find a way to get this thing off, said Teddy. Jesse started running around looking for a way to help. Jesse saw that the other side of the branch had started to burn and was becoming thinner. Jesse had an idea and he darted down into his hole. He grabbed some of his nut casings that he had stored the water in and ran back towards Daddy. He rushed towards the branch and poured the water on the branch. The branch was now thin and wobbly, but Teddy could not get his foot free. So Jesse gathered all his strength and in a single dash smashed his body against it. A crack was heard and the branch broke into half, freeing Teddy. He slowly got up and approached Jesse. Okay, another question. What did Jesse do to finally free Teddy's foot from the fallen branch? What did Jesse do to finally free Teddy's foot from the fallen branch? A. He left Teddy in the forest. B. He used an axe to cut the branch. C. He smashed his body against the branch. Or letter D. He called for help from another animals or from other animals. All right. From Laika Amarillo, she answers letter C. You're correct, Laika. Who else? From Christ Joseph, letter C. Maria Cahel, letter C. Who else? From Prince Zedric. Oh no, it's letter D. The correct answer is letter C. He smashed his body against the branch, okay, to help Teddy. All right, next. Teddy was surprised at Jesse's heroism and even more surprised at how he had managed to free him. He saw Jesse lying down. Jesse was looking very tired, so he picked him up in his mouth and rushed away from the fire into the cool hills nearby. A few days later, all the animals had settled into a new place in the wood where the fire hadn't reached. Everyone was still playing, but something had changed. Teddy the cob was taking care of Jessie the rabbit, who was still recovering. No one laughed at Jessie anymore, for he had saved a friend and they knew his courage. From that day on, all of them followed in his footsteps and have been careful till this day. They knew that being careful does not mean that you are not brave. All right, that ends our story, which entitled Jesse the Rabbit. Now, for our live viewers out there, I want to see your answer. What have you learned from our story today entitled Jesse the Rabbit? Okay, what have you learned from our story Jesse the Rabbit? I want to see the answers, the insights, the views of our live viewers. Okay, go kids. I want to read it. Come on. All right, let's wait first. What have you learned from our story, Jesse the Rabbit? Okay, from Alexandra Castro. She said, we have to learn how to help others. True, you're correct. Thank you so much for your answer from Alexandra Castro. Okay, another one from Bob Reportera. He said, help your friend. Of course, we have to help our friend all of the time. Okay, from Diana Melcy. She said, be good and trust each other. Thank you so much. From Artelia Zia, she said, you need to help other people. Yes, correct. Help people, okay? Another one from Rain, he said, don't judge others, right? You should not judge others, okay? We have to learn or to know first the story before we saying anything against our neighbor, against our friends, of course. You have to think first before you speak something, okay? Especially if it hurt if it hurts someone's feeling, okay? One more. Okay, from Adam you last. And he said, I learned to be good. Wow. Let's be good. That is the basic of life. Be good because God is also good. Okay. Thank you so much for your answers, my dear live viewers. And now let's proceed to our question and answer portion for our comprehension questions. Okay, for our question number one. Who is the main character of the story? Excuse me. Who is the main character of the story? A. Teddy. B. Jesse. C. The beaver. Or letter D. The forest animals. Okay. We have plenty of answers over here from Rain, Cian, Aigan, CJ, Bob, Diana, Rain. The answer is letter B. Correct. If your answer also is letter B, then you are also correct. It is Jesse, the main character of our story. Now let's proceed to our question number two. Which of the following best described Jesse? Which of the following best describe Jesse? A. Selfish and shy rabbit. B. Strong and wild rabbit. C. Cautious and wise rabbit. Or letter D. Selfish and unfriendly rabbit. From Ira, it's letter C. From Janelle, it's letter C. From Christ, Diana. Okay, from John. All of them from Ralph. Okay, you are correct. Igan also. Their answer is letter C. Jesse is a cautious and wise rabbit. Okay, for our listeners out there, if your answer is letter C, then you are also correct. Now let's proceed to our question number 3. Why was that Jesse left safe among the other animals? Why was that Jesse left safe among the other animals? Is it A, because he was a strong animal? B, because he was a strange animal? Letter C, because he was sleeping in the rabbit hole? Or letter D, because he was always careful and prepared for danger? All right. From Diana, Artelia, some more. Bob, okay. Diana, who else? Prince, okay. Very good. Kids, your answers is correct. It is letter D. Because he was careful and prepared for danger. And for our listeners out there, if your answer is letter D, then you are also correct. Now let's proceed to our question number 4. How did Jesse help Teddy? How did Jesse help Teddy? A. He shouted for help. B. He rushed into the fire. Letter C. He ran away from the forest. Or letter D. He gathered all his strength to help Teddy. Okay. Artelia, Laika, Maria, Diana, Sian, Julie. Okay, all of them answer letter D. Yes, you are all correct. It is letter D. Jesse gathered all his strength. He smashed his body to help Teddy. Okay, for our fifth and last question, for our comprehension question. Okay. What were the reasons why the other animals followed Teddy's footsteps? What were the reasons why the animals followed Teddy's footsteps? A. Because he saved them. B. Because he was strong. C. Because he was no longer funny. Or letter D. Because he was courageous, careful, and brave. Okay. Sian. Oh, I love this name. You always participate. Sian. Who else? Artelia. Thina. Laika. Audrey, Rafi, Diana, and Mirasol. They answer letter D, and you are correct. Okay? It's because he was courageous, careful, and brave. That is Teddy's character. Okay, now let's proceed to our morals of the story. I gave you 3 morals of the story entitled Jesse the Rabbit. Okay, for Teddy and his friends. Okay, it was from Frozen Fire. Underestimating others and thinking that they are weak is first step to failure. True. It stays here. Do not underestimate someone's capability in doing something great. Where his weakness for now might be his strength someday. So with so many animals that live in the forest, no one even dared to help Teddy, right? Except Jesse, who was known as the shy, timid, and weak animal. Thanks to Jesse for saving Teddy's life. Okay, another moral for Jesse's character, okay, from Anne Home. Being brave meant that though you might be frightened, you would face the greatest danger if you knew it. It was the right thing to do. It takes a lot of courage to help someone who is in great danger if you know that it will also risk your own life. But bravery is a lifetime experience. Have you experienced bravery in your life? It will awaken our inner heroism if there's a need to do so. That's what happened to Jesse. He is not only brave, but he is kind as well. Okay, and last but not the least, about the forest fire that happens in the area. Forest fire, it is destructive. It is a disaster. Okay, when there is a forest fire, maybe some of the animals can escape or even thrive. But to many, forest fire means death. It will perish our wild species and in one way or another, it will cause havoc on human lives. So, therefore, kids, let's care our forest, let's save our forest, and let's plant more trees. And that ends our story for today entitled Jesse the Rabbit. Thank you so much, though I don't have my people and interactor for today. But thank you so much, our live viewers. God bless you all. Thank you for your participation. I may not be able to read all your answers, but still thank you. And of course, a gentle reminder from a teacher, always spare a room for reading. Believe me, it will works. I am teacher Jen Hamago of San Vicente Elementary School, wishing you advance Merry Christmas. Love, love. Bye-bye. Thank you so much.
Innovation, integration, industry-based learning, inspiration. This is the Division of Panabo City, the forefront of eradicating illiteracy.
All right, and that was Ma'am Janeline C. Hamago of San Vicente, San Vicente School rather, and she shared to us the story entitled Jesse the Rabbit, and the author of that story is, and it gives us a moral that underestimating other and thinking that they are weak is a failure or first step of failure, and that is true. So it is not actually good that we underestimate other people because we don't know their capacity. So we should help them if in case that they need our help. So ika nga, sabi nila kung ang tao na kailangan ng tulong, tulungan natin, wag natin pagtawanan, di ba? Kasi hindi natin alam kung ano yung nararamdaman niya, kung ano yung sitwasyon niya that time. So, kailangan natin siyang tulungan at wag nating pagtawanan. Ayan. Mas mabuti pa ang tumulong kaysa humusga ka ng kapwa. Ayan. So, related din dyan yung kung wala ka namang masabing matino sa taong nakita mo sa paligid, like kung may na-encounter ka na pulubi, wala ka namang maitulong, so, wag ka na magsabi din ng masama. Mas mabuti na yung tulungan na lang natin sila. Tsaka lalo na ngayon na yes, advance Merry Christmas sa lahat, no? Nabanggit ni Ma'am Jan kanina. At especially today na pag Pasko, dapat share tayo ng mga blessings. Hindi lang pag Christmas, sa lahat naman ng panahon. Pero kung may nakakaluwag tayo this month, di ba? Kasi it's the season of giving. So, share lang tayo. Share the love, share the blessings. Ayan. So, this time, makikilala na natin ang ating panibagong segment dito sa Unlimited Stories for Reading Delights. Ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo kanina na sabi ko na bibitinin ko muna kayo at mamaya ko nasasabihin. Kasi I'm sure na magugustuhan nyo to kids dahil bago ito sa inyo. So this is a story po na ibabahagi sa atin. First time po sa Unlimited Stories and Reading Delights, a science story po na maririnig natin today. Yes, tama kayo. And this will be shared to us from a teacher from Sindaton National High School. And their school principal po ay si Ma'am Jean S. Bahaw. And then, ang kanilang reading program ay Science Stories of Invention. Yan. And the title of the story, The Flying Machine Airplane, written by and illustrated by, okay, hindi ko na, mamaya i-announce natin yan, okay? So, I'm sure na excited kayo, kids. So, hindi ko na patatagalin. Maririnig na natin ang ating kauna-unahang storya dito sa Science, sa Unlimited Stories for Reading Delights ay babahagi sa atin ni Ma'am Zenny Rose S. Castillo.
Innovation, integration, industry-based learning, inspiration. This is the Division of Panabo City, the forefront of eradicating illiteracy.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another fun and exciting episode of Unlimited Stories for Reading Delights. I am teacher Zeneros S. Castillo, and I will be your first storyteller in science in the new episode of the Unlimited Stories for Reading Delights. Together with me is my student interactor, a grade 7 student of Sindatar National High School, Jaira B. Dualio. Okay. Okay, so I welcome everyone in the first episode of our science story, and I will be your first storyteller. Okay, so let's wait for our student interactor, Jaira Dualio. Hi, Jaira. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I can't see your face yet, but thank you so much for your response. Okay, so let's see. Let's just wait a little. Okay, so, okay. Okay, hi, Jaira.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello. How are you doing today, Jaira?
I'm fine.
Okay, so now are you ready to hear a science amazing story of invention?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So now to all our listeners and to you as well, Jaira, please pay attention as we read our story, for we will have questions along the way. All right, now let us start by unlocking some vocabulary words that we will encounter as we read our story today. Okay, our first word in our vocabulary is glider. Okay, can you read the meaning of the word of this word glider, Jaira?
Glider is an aircraft that flies through the air without an engine.
Okay, thank you so much, Jaira. Okay, so glider is an aircraft that flies through the air without an engine. Okay, next word is engine. So what is engine? Kindly read the meaning of the word, Jaira.
Engine is a machine with moving parts that converts power into motion.
Okay, thank you so much. So our second word is engine. So engine is a machine with moving parts that converts power into motion. Next word is lift. So what is lift? Kindly read it, Jaira.
Lift means to raise from a lower to a higher position.
Okay, so the third word is lift. It means to raise from a lower to a higher position. And our last word is aircraft. So what is the meaning of aircraft?
Aircraft is a machine capable of flying.
Okay, so when we say aircraft, that is a machine which is capable of flying. Very good, Jaira. So from these words that you have read, Jaira, so what do you think will be our story all about today?
Machine.
Okay, nice guess, Jaira. So now let us start our science invention story. The title of our story is The Flying Machine, the Airplane, the invention that changed the world. Okay. In 18th century, man's fascination with the sky started when hot air balloon was launched in France. But there was one problem with these hot air balloons. They could not be directed to the location one wanted to visit. Rather, wind was the one that decided destination and direction of the balloon. Okay, our first question. Where was the hot air balloon launched during 18th century? What's your answer, Jaira?
France.
Okay, let's see. So the answer is very good, France. Okay, let's continue. But with more research and time invented in the concept of flying in the air, it gradually led to the invention of gliders. In 19th century, the idea of flying was already there, But the actual design of plane with engine was made and implemented successfully by the two amazing men, the Wright brothers. Okay, our next question is, after the hot air balloon was invented, what was the next invention they had made? What's your answer, Jai?
Glider.
Okay, very good. Let's see. The answer is gliders. Very good. Now, let us now know and read more about the two person who made a great invention that changed the world, the Wright brothers. Wilbur Wright and Orville Wright. So Wilbur Wright was born on April 16, 1867 in Millville, Indiana, while Orville Wright was born on August 19, 1871 in Dayton, Ohio. Their personalities were perfectly complementary. Why? Because Wilbur Wright was steadier in his habits, more mature in his judgments, and more likely to see a project through. And Orville Wright was full of ideas and enthusiasm. Okay, next question. Who were the two brothers whose personalities were perfectly complementary? So, what is your answer, Jaira?
Wilbur and Orville Wright.
Okay, it's Wilbur and Orville, right? So that is our answer. Very good. Okay, now let us know the steps towards the invention of airplane by the Wright brothers. So Wilbur and Orville Wright first step towards the successful invention of airplane was a research through reading various books on it. They have spent a great deal of time observing birds in flight. And they noticed that birds soared into the wind and that the air flowing over the curved surface of their wings created lift. And they also observed that birds changed the shape of their wings to turn and maneuver. And with that, they believed that they could use this technique to obtain roll control by changing the shape of a portion of the wings. Okay, our question. What animal did the Wright brothers observe which inspired them? What's your answer, Jai?
Bird.
Okay, bird. Let's see. Okay, so our answer is bird. Very good. Okay, let's continue. Over the next 3 years, Wilbur and his brother Orville would design a series of gliders which would be flown in both unmanned and manned flights. They recognized that control of the flying aircraft would be the most crucial and hardest problem to solve. In 1901, the Wright brothers flew the largest glider ever flown. And during 1902, they flew numerous test glides using their new glider and with successful glides. And now they plan to build a powered aircraft. After months of studying, they were able to make an aircraft which they called Flyer, and it became the first successful powered piloted flight in history. Okay, next question. What was the name of the first powered aircraft made by the Wright brothers? What's your answer, Jai?
The Flyer.
Okay, the Flyer. Let's also see the answers of our live viewers. Okay, so let's wait a little. So what do you think is the answer? What was the name of the first powered aircraft? Okay, from Lyra Gotera, she answered Flyer. Laika Amarillo also answered the flyer, and Alexandra Castro, Adrian Beji Clordiarta, then Matthew Pia Omilia, they also answered flyer. Thank you so much for your interaction. Okay, now let's continue our story. Okay, however, many problems occurred. The wings did not have enough power to lift, forward elevator was not that effective, and its warping technology caused it to spin out of control occasionally. In their disappointment, they predicted that man will probably not fly in their lifetime. In spite of the problems they faced with their last attempts at flight, they refused to give up and kept reviewing their test results till they found out that the calculations used for the mechanism were not good enough to fly an aircraft. Okay, our question would be, what were the major problems they encountered? Okay, Jai. So I think the question here, I mean, the answer is too long, but I hope that you can still get the answer. No, so this will be our answer for this question. So the major problems the Wright's brother encountered was that the wings did not have enough power to lift, the forward elevator was not that effective, and its warping technology caused it to spin out of control occasionally. So that was the major problems they encountered. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so after so many attempts and failures, on December 17, 1903, Wilbur and Orville effectively flew the first successful airplane in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. So that was their first successful airplane. The Wright brothers' first successful flight of airplane gave way to the development of flight industry until today. And all these things lead them as the leader of the future aviation invention. Okay, question. When was the first successful plane flight? What's your answer, Jai?
December 17, 1903.
Okay, let's see the answers of our live viewers as well. So, when was the first successful plane flight made by the Wright brothers? Okay, so we still don't have answers in our comments. Okay, let's see. Okay, we have Carl Johnson Lozado. He answered December 17, 1903. We also have Mackenzie Blair, Adrian BG, Laika, Carl Joseph. Okay, so the first successful plane flight was on December 17, 1903. Very good. Okay, now, what do you think the lesson that we can get from the Wright brother? So, what is the moral of the story? Can you give at least one, Jaira, lesson that we can get from the Wright brother?
Believe in yourself and your partner.
Okay, so the first lesson that we can get from the Wright brother in the invention of the first successful airplane was to believe in yourself and in your partner. Next is they can because they think they can. So, Jaira, you can do anything what you want to do if you think you can do it. Okay? And next is we have never give up and try until you succeed. So, next, the attitude towards their failure may lead them to success of fame or failure. But the way Orville and Wilbur Wright choose was the one who led them to a huge success story. And the first successful plane flight of the Wright brothers in 1903 paved the way to the development of our modern airplane. So that is our story for today, the flying machine, the airplane. Now let us have a short quiz, a very short quiz, just to know if you really listen to our story. Okay, so let's have our first question. Number one, who were the inventor of the first successful airplane? A. Frank and Jesse James. B. James and Johann Bernoulli. C. Wilbur and Orville Wright. So what is the answer? Let's see as well our live viewers of what will be their answer. Okay, Jaira, what's your answer?
C, ma'am.
Okay, C. Okay, we have a lot of comments in our comment box, in our chat box. So that's letter C. So the inventor of the first successful airplane were Wilbur and Orville Wright. Thank you so much, our live viewers, for your answers. Okay, next question, number two. Where did the first successful flight took place? A. France. B. Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. C. Dayton, Ohio. What will be your answer, Jaira? What do you think is
B.
the answer?
B.
It's letter B. Okay. Our live viewers answered. Let's see. Okay. So number
A.
two, we have A,
A.
France.
A.
Okay. We also have B, Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. So there are answers like letter A and letter B. Okay. Okay. Let's see what is the answer for number two. So that is letter B. So the first successful flight took place in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. Okay, let's have number three. Okay, what was the first step the Wright brothers made toward the invention of airplanes? So, is it letter A? They had observed how gliders work. B. They met other inventors to collaborate with. Or C. They had allotted so much time doing research through reading various books. So what was the first step they made? Let's see what are the answers of our live viewers. So let's there is letter C, letter B. Okay, how about you, Jaira? What is your answer?
Letter C.
Okay, letter C. Others answer letter C as well. We have also letter A. So Laika Amarillo, Mark Adrian Cordova, Nicole K, Ferris May, Mark Adrian. Okay, they answered letter C. Let's see the answer. So number three, the answer is very good. The answer is letter C. Okay, our last question, number four. What concept did they acquire from observing the birds? A. The birds soared into the wind and can control the air flowing over their wings to create lift. B. The birds changed the shape of their wings to turn and maneuver, and they could use this technique to obtain roll control. C. The longer the wings of the bird, the higher the altitude it can fly. Okay, I'll repeat the question because it's too long. Okay, so number four for our last question. What concept did they acquire from observing the birds? A. The birds soared into the wind and can control the air flowing over their wings to create lift. B. The birds changed the shape of their wings to turn and maneuver, and they could use this technique to obtain roll control. Or C, the longer the wings of the bird, the higher the altitude it can fly. So which is the correct answer? Okay, what is your answer,
Letter B,
Jai?
ma'am.
Okay, letter B. Let's see our live viewers. Okay, most of the answers are also letter B. We have Alexandra. Okay, we have Christine John, Nicole K. Carl Joseph, Hope. We have also Ferris May. Their answers are also letter B. May we see the answer? Okay, very good, everyone. So the answer is letter B. Okay, so that is the end of our story today. Thank you so much, Jaira, for being so attentive and interactive at the same time in our
You're
science
welcome,
story
ma'am.
today. Thank you, Jai. So I hope that everyone was inspired with the story of the Wright brothers and how they invented the first successful airplane. Now I would like to take this opportunity to thank you, Jaira, for being my student interactor today, and also to your
You're
ever
welcome.
supportive parents, Ma'am Maria Lutz, Dualio, and Sir Journey, for allowing you to be my student guest today in our Unlimited Stories for Reading Delights. Thank you so much, Jai. Thank you so much, Ma'am Lutz.
You're
So
welcome, ma'am.
keep safe always, Jai, and see you soon. And I would like also to take this opportunity to thank our school head, Ma'am Jean S. Bahao, for being our for her undying support, and to our science education program supervisor, Ma'am Helia Pablo, for this great opportunity she had given me to be part of this Reading the Lights program. To all our listeners out there, to our live viewers, we thank you so much for patronizing our Unlimited Stories for Reading the Lights of the DepEd Panabo. So this is Teacher Zen, and thank you so much for listening. God bless everyone, and goodbye.
Innovation, integration, industry-based learning, inspiration. This is the Division of Panabo City, the forefront of eradicating illiteracy.
All right, thank you so much, Ma'am Zenny Rose S. Castillo of Sendaton National High School. So she is our first story reader in Science Story. So she shared to us this morning the story about the flying machine, the airplane. So kids, we've learned how the airplane was invented, and we've learned a lesson from that, right? That we have to believe in ourselves that we can do it, and that's the first secret to success. And also, failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of it. So ika nga sabi nila, never give up. Kung nadagma man ka, bangon. Kay padayon ng gihapon sa imuhang goal. Kung gusto sa imong goal, gusto niyo ma-reach imong goal, so never give up, and then try and try until you success. So nice kay siya na story, and I'm sure daghan kayong mga bata karon ang nainganyo no sa atong story, and I'm sure next Friday abangan na po din nila na episode. Yan. And thank you so much also to our pupil interactor, Jaira. Thank you sa imong family no na nag-allow sa imo to be part of our program in Unlimited Stories for Reading Delights. And also to our education program supervisor in English, Ma'am Helia Pueblo. Hello, Ma'am. Magandang umaga sa iyo, and thank you so much din po. So this time, let's have our next story reader this morning. Our next story reader this is for junior high school English, and isa rin siya sa nagabalik-balik no na story reader sa tuang junior high school English. She's from San Vicente National High School, and their school principal is Ma'am. Let me just check. Okay, and she's from San Vicente National High School, and their reading program. Now let me just check. Okay. Okay, the story that she will be shared to us this morning is The Good Prince Bantugan. And the author of this story is anonymous and illustrated by YouTube video clips. So this will be shared to us by Ma'am Elsie O. Iniego.
Innovation, integration, industry-based learning, inspiration. This is the Division of Panabo City, the forefront of eradicating illiteracy.
Thank you, Ma'am Davy.
Cold morning and happy morning, everyone. Hello, our dear audience, our listeners of our New Visayas on Air FM radio, and our viewers on YouTube and on Facebook and in Panabo Channel 1. Good morning. How are you doing this morning? I hope you are doing great. It's cold because it's Christmas in the air. So I want to shout out to my students in San Vicente National High School and to all students and pupils in Panabo City Division. So I hope you are doing great while working, answering your modules, and having your online classes. Okay, so I am here again to give you another story this morning. The title of this story is The Good Prince Bantugan. Okay, so are you ready for another story for our Friday habit and limited stories for reading delights? Okay, so we have here 134 viewers. Hello there. So I hope you will be active this morning in answering our questions, okay, and in commenting your answers and shout outs. Okay, so this time we'll start with our vocabulary building before we will proceed to the story. So the first word that we will be having this morning that can be found in our story is, okay, our first word this morning is the word envy. Okay, what does envy mean? When we say envy, that is a noun, painful or resentful awareness of an advantage enjoyed by another, joined with a desire to possess the same advantage. Okay? When we say envy, that is a desire to possess the same advantage or things possessed by others. Now let's proceed to the second word. The second word is defend. And what is defend? When we say defend, this is a verb which means to prove valid by answering questions. To prove valid by answering questions is the word defend. Let's proceed to the third word. The third word is proclamation. When we say proclamation, we mean that is an official, formal public announcement, which is a noun. Again, when we say a proclamation, this is a noun which means an official, formal public announcement. Shall we proceed to the fourth word? The fourth word is astonished. Okay, when we say astonished, this is an adjective which means greatly surprised or impressed or amazed. When you are amazed or greatly surprised, then you are astonished. Okay, now shall we have our last word? The last word is hesitation. When we say hesitation, this is a noun which means a pausing before saying or doing something. Again, when we mean a pause before saying or doing something, then we have the word hesitation. Okay, so I hope you learned the 5 words that we have this morning for our vocabulary building. Now, shall we proceed with our code to ponder? Okay, so if you can read, I know that you can read this quote on your end, so you can read it with me. Contentment makes poor men rich. Discontent makes rich men poor, by Benjamin Franklin. Again, contentment makes poor men rich. Discontent makes rich men poor. What does it mean? When we are contented, though we are poor, then we are rich already because we are happy of what we have. However, even though we have a lot, but we are discontented, that will give us the feeling of becoming a poor. So, the happiness now is in the state of our minds. If we want to be happy and feeling rich, then we should be contented. But though we have a lot in our lives, we are already good enough, yet we are discontented, then we will be miserable and we will feel poor. Okay, so this quote has something to do with our story this morning. Shall we proceed now? And we will start our story, The Good Prince Bantugan. The kingdom of Bumbaran was ruled by the old king who was full of envy toward his younger brother, Prince Bantugan. One day, the kingdom was attacked by the enemies, and King Bantugan led his men to defend the country. The evil king issued a proclamation that whosoever dared to speak to Bantugan would be killed. Now, let's have the processing question number 1. As we know from the story, how would you describe the king of Bombaran to his sibling Prince Bantugan? Again, how would you describe the king of Bombaran? You can comment your answer. How would you describe in one word? How would you describe king of Bombaran to his sibling Prince Bantugan? Adlawan said, he is bad. Okay, yeah, he is bad. Because he is, from the word that we had a while ago, he is full of envy. Then he is envious. That is a negative attitude, being envious. Now, shall we proceed? When Prince Bantugan returned victoriously from the battle, he was astonished that no one met him, praised him, or even talked to him. This saddened him a lot. Prince Bantugan decided to leave the kingdom and go to the kingdom between two seas. When Prince Bantugan reached the kingdom, he fell to the ground and died. Princess Datimbang, the sister of the king in the kingdom between two seas, went out to see the body. They brought the body to the palace. Now, question number 2 for our processing questions. What could be the reason of Prince Bantugan's death? That is Bantugan. Again, what could be the reason of Prince Bantugan's death? What do you think? Okay, as we all know that Prince Bantugan left the kingdom of Bombaran because no one talked to him. He went to the kingdom of two seas. However, when he reached the gate of the palace, he fell and died. Rian Cruz said starvation. He fell to the ground. Yeah, perhaps starvation. You are correct because no one gave him food. He was too hungry and too tired because no one talked to him. Alexandra said he didn't eat according to Diana. And you are all correct because sometimes it's not all about the food that will lead us to death. It's also the depression. When no one will talk to us, then it will give us too much depression. We will be so sad and it will give us the sick feeling. So that could be the reason. You are all correct. Now, we will proceed. Meanwhile, the parrots were talking about the young man who died in the kingdom between two seas. But there was a parrot from the kingdom of Bambaran who was silent and very sad. When the other parrots noticed him, they approached him and told him to look if it is the body of King Bantugan. The parrot was shocked to see the dead body of Prince Bantugan. He told the king and Princess Datimbang that it is his master from the kingdom of Bumbaran. The king and his sister, Princess Datimbang, decided to return the body of Prince Bantugan to the kingdom of Bumbaran. The parrot also went back to the kingdom of Bumbaran to tell King Madali about what happened to his brother Prince Bantugan. Now, how did the king feel about his brother's death? What do you think, dear audience? How did the king feel about his brother's death? After knowing from the parrot that Prince Bantugan, his brother, died, how would he feel? Will he be so happy? Because finally, nobody would dare to equate him. Really sad, according to Duen Cells. Okay, a lot of you said sad and sorrowful. You are correct. King Madali was sad about the death of his brother, Prince Bantugan. Now, shall we proceed? Without hesitation, King Madali and Princess Datimbang's brother decided to go to the region of the dead to get the soul of Prince Bantugan from the angel of death. When King Madali got the bottle, he transferred the soul to Bantugan's body, and the prince opened his eyes and sat up. He was alive again. Later on, the prince married the beautiful princess, the Timbang. That's the end of our story this morning. Before I will give to you the moral of the story or the lessons that we can get from the story, I want you to type or comment now what is the moral that you learned from the story. Again, before I will give to you the moral or the lessons that can be found or that can be learned from the story, I want you to type now. What is the lesson that you got from the story? Okay, can you type now in our comment box? What lesson did you learn from our story, The Good Prince Bantugan? Although our story is a fiction story, it's not true, yet we can learn a lesson from it. Diana said, never let jealousy destroy your relationship. Yeah, very good, especially among your siblings. Be kind, according to Ira. Don't be envious, according to Duen Cells. And be friendly, according to Alexa. Be contented of what you have, Elleria Venice Inovero said. Be good, according to Jade Adlawan. You are all correct. Amazing, dear audience. You got the lesson from our story. Rian said to be kind. Be kind to people, according to Ralph Tony. And be friendly. Okay, according to Bagensodon Brillia Yumi. Be kind, according to Maria Sofia. Matt Carol Miani said, always be kind. Now, we will have the moral of the story. Number one, be contented of what you are and what you have. Think of it. What you have right now, you have your talent. Though your talent is not good as others' talent, though you are not beautiful as Liza Soberano, you are not handsome as Danielle Padilla, be content. Be contented of what you are and what you have because that will make us happy. Another one, don't be jealous of the traits and successes of others because everyone is differently beautiful and can be successful in many ways. Don't get jealous with your classmates, with your siblings. Example, when your brother is a good singer, when your sister is best in dancing and you are not, then don't get jealous because look at yourself. For sure, you have your strength too. You can be successful, you can be beautiful in your own way. Don't get jealous with someone you are looking up to, like actors, actresses, okay? Instead, the third lesson that we can have from the story is make other success your inspiration for you to work harder and persevere to achieve your goals. Example, if your classmates is in the top of your class, meaning they are honor students and you are not, don't be envious. Instead, you should work hard to be on top as well, or you will be good in your studies as well. If your sister graduated in college and landed a good job, then he or she became your parents' pet, then work hard too for you to be able to be successful someday. So make other story, success story, your inspiration for you to work harder. Don't feel bad because sometimes if you will just look at them, admire them, and then you will look yourself as so little and you will get inferior. Instead, be happy of what they have. Example, your neighbors are having new TV, having new car, and your family is still struggling. Be happy for them because in due time or in God's perfect time, you can have it too. Work hard. Sometimes the tendency is when there are neighbors who are successful, other neighbors will make bad stories against them. That's a bad attitude. Instead, be happy and then work hard on your part so that you will be successful too. And Maria Sophia said, be a good person to trust and to give experience other people. Don't be mean to your brother or siblings or to the other people, according to Samantha Andres Ngoho. Very well said. Okay, so I hope you learned the story. You learned from the story this morning that we should be happy. We should be contented. Work hard, pray hard, then God will give us the best in his right and perfect time. Okay? So that's the end of our story this morning, The Good Prince Bantugan. If Bantugan was so good, that's why he married a beautiful princess, then be good always, dear pupils and students, because God is watching us. Every drop counts. God will reward those students or those kids who are very good and working hard. So that's all about our story this morning, especially in this Christmas season. And always don't forget to be like Prince Bantugan. Be good always. Thank you very much for listening. Sorry. I forgot. I'm carried away. This morning we'll have pa pala our comprehension check. Are you ready? If you really understood our story this morning, then comment your answer. Now let's have question number 1. What is the conflict in the story? Is it A, love? What's the cause of the problem in the story? Is it love? B, jealousy? B, loyalty? C, jealousy? D, hopelessness? What's your answer, dear audience? What is the conflict in the story? Is it love, loyalty, jealousy, hopelessness? Then we have the first one to get the correct answer, Artia Zia, letter C. You are correct. A lot of you got it right. Very good. Jealousy is the main problem of the story. Now, shall we proceed to question number 2? According to the story, which is not a correct word to describe Prince Bantugan, which is not a correct word to describe Prince Bantugan. A, kind. B, boastful. C, brave. D, responsible. What's your answer for question number 2? Write the number. Okay, so for number 2, what is your answer? The correct answer, which is not a correct word to describe Prince Bantugan. The correct answer for number 2, may I see if somebody got the correct answer? As we know, Prince Bantugan is kind, he is brave, and responsible. So, obviously, the answer is letter B. Maria Sophia is right. Letter B, he is not boastful. Okay, now shall we proceed to the third question? Again, write the number of your answer because there are still answers coming, though it is for question number 2. Number 3, why King Madali was so mean to his brother Prince Bantugan? A, he is afraid that Bantugan will replace him. B, King Madali was just so concerned for his brother. C, Prince Bantugan was an irresponsible brother. D, King Madali was so insecure of his brother's looks, traits, and successes. What's your answer? Diana Melcy is correct. The answer is letter D. And a lot of you got it right. King Madali was so insecure of his brother's looks, traits, and successes. Because Prince Bantugan obviously is very handsome and he won a lot of battles. That's why King Madali was so insecure. Now, shall we proceed to the fourth question? Which statement below that tells us the correct treatment among siblings in the family? A. Be happy of your siblings' successes. B. Older siblings' decisions in the family must be followed at all times. C. Do not allow your younger siblings to have more in life than what you have. Letter D. Younger siblings should also compete with their older brothers and sisters. What's your answer for question number 4? Yeah, a lot of you got it right. Diana Melcy again said letter A. So with Aliana Manlangan. And a lot of you got it correct. Letter A. What should be the correct treatment among siblings in the family? Of course, be happy of your siblings' successes. Okay, that is family. Now, shall we proceed to number 5 and the last one? How would you describe the ending of the story? Is it A, sad, B, happy, C, gloomy, D, unpredictable? How would you describe the ending of the story? Is it a sad ending, B, a happy ending, C, a gloomy ending, D, unpredictable ending? And guess Jarent and Chado got it correct. Letter B, happy ending because Prince Bantugan married to the beautiful princess Datimba. That's correct. Okay, so very good, dear audience. I like your spirit this morning. Though it's cold, but you are so active in participating with our story this morning. So I hope to see you again next time. And it's Christmas time, so we are so excited. Please be good always. Stay safe. God bless everyone. Thank you very much for your participation. God bless you. Have a great day ahead.
Innovation, integration, industry-based learning, inspiration. This is the Division of Panabo City, the forefront of eradicating illiteracy.
All right, and that was Ma'am LCO Inigo of San Vicente National High School. And thank you also to their school principal, Mr. or Sir Rustico P. Hernandez Jr. And again, their school reading program is Reader's Rise. And she shared to us this morning the story entitled The Good Prince Bantugan. And I'm sure you've learned a lot from that story. That gives us a lesson to be contented of what we have and to be happy of what others have. So we don't be jealous, don't be envious. Instead, if you want to achieve something in life or if you have a goal in life, you have to strive hard and work for it. And also, there is a perfect timing for everything. So if God will give you the right time for that. So we'll just learn to wait for it, and that is actually the moral of the story. So thank you so much, Ma'am Elsie Owiniego. And this time we'll have our story read Filipino Junior High School. And she's from Panabo City National High School. And their school principal is Ma'am Memia B. Infiesto. And the reading program is Proyektong Athena. And ang pamagat po ng kanyang storya ay Ang Pambihirang Buhok ni Raquel. So yan po ang storya na ibabahagi sa atin ngayong umaga. At ang author naman nito ay si Luis P. Gatmaytan. At ang illustrator, tagaguhit ng storyang ito ay si Beth Parroca Doctolero. So ang storya na ito ay babahagi po sa atin ngayong umaga ni Ma'am Rhea Jean Pardillo.
Innovation, integration, industry-based learning, inspiration. This is the Division of Panabo City, the forefront of eradicating illiteracy.
Kumusta mga bata? Muling nagbabalik, Teacher Rhea, ang kwentista sa umagang ito. Handa na ba kayong makinig? Tara, sabayan ninyo ako. May hinahangaan ka bang sa iyong pamilya? Okay, sa kwentong ito ay tungkol sa magpinsan. Sa mata ng kanyang pinsan ay may maraming katangian na hinahangaan. Nagtataglay rin siya ng buhok na pambihira at makulay. Pero Alam mo bang may lihim ang kanyang pinsan? Ano kaya ang matutuklasan natin sa kwento ngayong araw? So bago yan, atin munang basahin ang tiyak na mga layunin. Okay, pagkatapos ng kwento, ang mga mag-aaral ay inaasahang natutukoy ang mga tauhan at papel na ginagampanan at nasasabi ang mahahalagang pangyayari. Okay, so bago yan, may papakita muna akong mga larawan. Ang gagawin ninyo ay huhulaan ang pangalan ng mga ito sa pamamagitan ng pagkokompleto ng mga letra. Handa na ba kayo? Okay, narito yung unang katanungan. Okay, sa palagay ninyo, ano kaya ito? Ito ay isang artipisyal na buhok na isinusuot upang itago ang pagkakalbo. Ano kaya ito? Okay. Alam kong ang sagot ninyo ay ano? Piluka. Kung piluka ang inyong sagot ay tama. Okay, sabi ni Ralph Sandre, piluka or piluka. Okay. Pangalawang larawan. Ito ay isang luntiang punong kahoy. Ang bunga nito'y may maitim na balat hugis bilugan na may namumulang laman. Sa palagay ninyo, ano kaya ito? Ano kaya ito? Okay, kapag ang tamang sagot ninyo ay duhat, kayo ay tama. Magaling. Ang sabi ni Alexandra Castro ay duhat daw. At Rafael, yes. Okay, next. Pangatlong larawan. Ito ay paborito ng marami dahil sa matamis nitong laman na nagmumula sa mataas na puno na may bilugang hugis na bunga. Sa palagay ninyo, ano kaya ito? Ito ay siniguelas. Mahusay. Kung ang tamang sagot ninyo ay siniguelas, kayo ay tama. Okay. Pang-apat na larawan. Ito ay isang larong Pinoy na madalas nilalaro ng mga bata sa kalye na kung saan mayroon kang gamit na pamato. At ang kalsada ay may guhit. Ano kaya ito? Ito ay, yes, tama, si Dayan Melcy, ito ay piko. At saka ang sabi naman ni Leia, piko, magaling. At ang panghuling larawan, okay, ano kaya ito, class? Ito ay isang uri ng kulisap na karaniwang lumilipad sa gabi. Ito rin ay nagbibigay ng kukuti-kutitap na liwanag. Sa palagay ninyo, ano kaya ito? Okay, ito ay alitap-tap. Sabi ni Carl Johnson Lozano, alitap-tap, mahusay. At ni Zantre, alitap-tap, at saka Jules, alitap-tap. Okay, tama. Alam kong kayo ay handang-handa na sa aking babasahing kwento. So narito, ang pamagat ay ang Pambihirang Buhok ni Raquel. Ito ay kwento ni Luis Pigat Maitan at guhit naman ni Beth Parrocha Doc Tolero. Bilib na bilib ako kay Raquel. Sa lahat ng aking mga pinsan, siya ang aking hinahangaan. Ang kulay ng buhok niya ay iba-iba. May asul, dilaw, at saka pula. Pambihira talaga. Hindi alam ni Raquel na iinggit ako sa kanya. Maganda kasi siya. Makinis ang kanyang balat. Kay puti-puti. May dimple siya pag numingiti. Hindi galaw-gaw kung kumilos. Kay galing niyang mag-Ingles. At yun pa nga, mayroon siyang kakaibang buhok. Bakit kaya wala ako ng mga meron siya? Tuloy, pag ikinukumpara ko ang sarili ko kay Raquel, parang ang layo-layo ko. Madalas kinagaya ko siya, ang kanyang pangiti, pagdadamit, pagkandirit, at pagkanta-kanta. Kapag sinabi niyang, "Wow! Ang galing-galing!" Ganun na rin ang laging bigkas ng aking bibig. Dadalhin ko yon sa buong panahon na kami ay magkalayo. Buti na lang, minsan sa isang taon, tuwing panahon ng mangga at tuhat, daigdig namin ay nagtatagpo sa pamimitas ng siniguelas, sa paglalaro ng piko, at sa panghuhuli ng alitaptap. Hindi siya masilan kahit ang bango-bango niya at ako'y amoy araw. Palagi niya akong hinahalik-halikan kasi hindi siya isnabera kahit taga Maynila siya at ako'y taga Baryo. Siya pa nga ang nauunang pumapansin sa akin at hindi niya ako pinatatawanan kahit mali-mali ang Ingles ko. Pero napapansin ko, lagi niya akong sinasabi sa akin na, Ana, mas mapalad ka. Abay, bakit kaya? Isang tag-araw, nainip ako sa kahihintay, pero hindi siya dumating. Tinanong ko sina nanay at tatay kung magbabakasyon ba sa amin si Raquel. Hindi raw muna. Nasa hospital daw kasi si Raquel. Sa isip ko noon, itinatanong ko, paanong dinalaw ng sakit ang batang kay linis-linis? Kinabukasan, lumuwas kami ng Maynila. Pero, para dalawin ang hinahangaan kong pinsan at doon napansin ko ang maraming pagbabago sa kanyang itsura. Mas lalo ba siyang pumuti? Nagtatampo ba ang kanyang mga ngiti? Pero, nakalimutan ko agad yun. Bigla ko kasing napansin ang kanyang buhok. Nung huli ko siyang nakita, pinaghalong dilaw at pula ang kulay nito. Ngayon, ay kulay asul. Talagang iba ang pinsan kong taga Maynila. Ang dating buhok niyang itim na napag-iba-iba, pambihira talaga. Naging madalas ang pagluwas namin para dalawin si Raquel at hindi pwedeng di kami maglaro kapag kami ay nagkikita. Pero doon na lamang kami sa kanilang bahay. Hindi na raw pwedeng maglaro si Raquel sa mga parket, carnival. Baka raw kasi siya ay mahawaan ng sakit sa ibang mga bata. Inip na tuloy ako sa Maynila. Buti sana kung may naliligaw na alitaptap at sa kanilang bakuran. O kaya'y may maakyatang puno ng siniguelas. Kaya hayon, ang buhok ni Raquel ang aking napagbalingan. Raquel, gusto mo itirantas ko ang buhok mo? Tatango siya. Ngunit may paalala. Dahan-dahan lang ha. At nagsimula akong magtakas sa kakaibang hibla ng kanyang buhok. Bakit kay galas? Bakit hindi madulas? Bakit parang nakaalsa ang buhok na iyon? Sinalat ko pa nga ang aking buhok para ikumpara. Hindi ito katulad ng buhok ni Raquel. Mas kagaya ng manikang basahan ang kanyang buhok. Baka ganun ang sosyal na buhok? Minsan, habang inililipad ng hangin ang kanyang buhok, may nasilip akong kakaiba sa kanyang ulo. Itinatanong ko tuloy kung ano ang makikita sa ilalim ng kanyang makukulay na buhok. Sabi niya, doon daw ay may kahariang nakatago, may bahaghari at may taong maliliit na napakakukulit. Wiling-wili ako sa pakikinig at pangangarap na sinasabi niyang pambihirang daigdig. Hindi ko napansin ang pagtakas ng kulay sa kanyang mukha. Raquel! Lumatag sa sahig ang maputlang katawan ni Raquel. Takot na takot ako. Nanginginig. Anong nangyari sa aking pinsan? Kagagawan kaya ito ng taong maliliit na nagtatago sa ilalim ng kanyang buhok? Habang tumatakbo papalapit sila tito at tita, nasulyapan ko ang ulo ni Raquel. Natanggal ang kanyang pambihirang buhok. Walang kaharian, walang bahaghari, walang taong maliliit sa ilalim ng kanyang buhok. Kalbo si Raquel. Piloka lang pala ang buhok na Kakaiba! Noon ko lang nalaman kung ano talaga ang sakit ni Raquel. Leukemia. Ganoon ang bigkas ni tita. Nagmamadaling isinugod nila si Raquel sa ospital. Baka kailangan na raw siyang salinan ng dugo at bigyan ng panibagong gamot. Umiyak ako nang umiyak kay nanay. Bakit ganun? Tanong ko. Talagang ganun. Sagot ni nanay. Kahit ang mga bata ay hindi pwera sa kanser. At pinahid ng aking ina ang mga luha ko. Bigla kong naalala ang madalas na sinasabi sa akin ni Raquel na mas mapala daw ako kaysa sa kanya. Noon ko lang yun naintindihan. Hindi nga kami mayaman, hindi ako maganda o maputi, pero malusog ang aking katawan. Ang kalusugan ay kayamanan. Yan ang madalas sabihin ni tatay. Nang lumabas ng ospital si Raquel, mapula na naman ang kanyang pisngi. May ngiti na uli ang kanyang labi. Tinakot ba kita? Biro niya. Hindi ko na sinagot ang kanyang tanong, basta't niyakap ko na lang siya ng mahigpit, ng mahigpit, ng mahigpit, na para bang hindi ko na siya pakakawalan pa. Hanggang ngayon, sa lahat ng aking mga pinsan, si Raquel pa rin ang aking hinahangaan. Kasi higit sa pambihirang buhok, taglay niya ang pambihirang tapang. At doon nagtatapos ang aking kwento na may pamagat na ang pambihirang buhok ni Raquel. So bago ako dumako sa ating tanong, balikan muna natin kung sino-sino yung mga tauhan. Okay, si Raquel, siya ang pinsan ni Ana na may pambihirang buhok at may sakit na leukemia. At si Ana, siya ang pinsan at humahanga sa pambihirang buhok ni Raquel. So ngayon, may inihanda akong katanungan kung kayo ba ay nakinig sa aking binahaging kwento. Okay, sino ang pinsan ni Ana na may pambihirang buhok? A. Susi. B. Lisa. C. Raquel. Okay, kung kayo ay gustong sumagot, i-comment nyo lamang ang inyong sagot sa comment section at aking babasahin. Okay, tama. Ang sabi ni Samantha, ngoho, si Raquel. Tama, mahusay. Alexandra Castro, si, tama. Okay, ang sabi naman ni Ace, si, at Unico, si. Okay, marami tayong tamang sagot dito sa ating comment section. Maraming salamat sa inyong mga kasagutan. Okay, ang pangalawang tanong. Okay, sino ang batang taga-baryo? A. Si Raquel. B. Si Ana. C. Si Susi. Sa palagay ninyo, sino kaya yung batang taga-baryo? Ano ang inyong sagot? Okay, ang sabi ni Samantha, B. Ano? Okay. Ang sabi naman ni Sandre, B. At ni Rian Cruz, B. Ang tamang sagot ay letrang or titik B. Tama. Maraming salamat sa inyong mga kasagutan. At ang pangatlong katanungan, ano ang nangyari kay Raquel habang wiling-wili si Ana sa pakikinig at pangangarap sa sinasabi niyang daigdig? Sa palagay ninyo, A. Nadapa ba? B. Napagod? C. Nahimatay? Ano ang tamang sagot? Ang sabi ni January Cuesta, C. Nahimatay. At Alea at Samantha, C. Nahimatay. Rafi Sandre, C. Nahimatay. Si Leia, C. Nahimatay. Ang tamang sagot ay C. Nahimatay. Maraming salamat. Napakahusay. Okay. Pang-apat na katanungan. Talagang kayo ay nakikinig sa aking binahaging kwento. Ano ang sakit? Ano ang tawag sa sakit ni Raquel? A. Kidney. B. Balat. C. Leukemia. Ano ang tawag sa sakit ni Raquel? Sa palagay ninyo. Okay, ang sabi ni Alea, C. Ni Mark Cordova, C. Ano pa? Si January, si Samantha, Jules, si... Okay, ang tamang sagot ay titik, si. Magaling. Napakahusay talaga. At ang panghuling katanungan. Okay. Kung ikaw si Raquel, magiging paboritong pinsan mo pa rin ba siya kahit nalaman mo ang sekreto ng kanyang pambihirang buhok at bakit? Okay, para sa inyo class, kung ikaw si Raquel, magiging paboritong pinsan mo pa rin ba kahit nalaman mo ang sekreto ng kanyang pambihirang buhok at bakit? Ano ang inyong mga kasagutan? Okay. Yes. Yes, sabi ni si Drake, oo. Oo daw ang kaniyang sagot. Oo, dahil siya ay mabait, ang sabi ni Samantha. Ang sabi naman ni Alexandra, oo, dahil mahal ko siya at tanggap ko kung sino siya. Yes, ang sagot ay, okay. Ang sagot ay, okay. Oo, dahil hindi man totoo ang pambihirang buhok ni Raquel, taglay naman niya ang tapang sa pakikipaglaban sa kanyang sakit. Okay, lagi nating tatandaan, class, bawat isa sa atin ay may kanya-kanyang katangian na dapat pahalagahan. Dapat tayong maging matapat or matapang sa anumang pagsubok sa ating buhay. So, bago ko ibigay kung ano yung aking mga gintong aral, nais ko munang basahin kung ano talaga ang inyong nakuhang aral sa aking binahaging kwento. Okay, ang sabi ni... Okay. Ano ang inyong nakuhang aral sa aking binasang kwento? Or ano ang inyong nakuhang gintong aral? Sige. Okay. Sige, ang gintong aral, okay, hindi dapat magbago ang pagtingin o pagmamahal natin sa ating mga hinahangaan kahit sila ay may sakit. Ang sabi ni Ralphie dito, huwag husgahan ang panlabas na anyo. Tama. At magpasalamat tayo sa ibinigay ng Diyos para sa atin. Mahalin at pahalagan natin ang ating pamilya at kapwa natin at kapwa-tao. At ang panghuli, ingatan ang kalusugan. Okay, so doon lang lamang nagtatapos ang aking kwento. Maraming salamat. Nais kong pasalamatan ang mga tao na nasa likod ng programang ito. Unang-una po kay Ginoong Renante A. Solitario, tagapamanihalang pansangay, sa aming pansangay at pangpurok na tagamasid na si Ginoong Peter Mijares sa Filipino at Dr. Angelita Suelto sa English, sa lahat ng punong guro sa elementarya at sekundarya, lalo na sa aming napakaaktibong prinsipal, Madam Memia B. Festo, at mga kapwa ko kaguruan sa Panabo City National High School, at sa aming masigasig na coordinator sa Filipino, Ginoong Arcel Gakasan. At lalong-lalo na sa aking mga mag-aaral na nakatutok ngayong sa FB Live. Maraming salamat. At yun lamang po, at sa muling pagkikita. Maraming salamat. Paalam.
Innovation, integration, industry-based learning, inspiration. This is the Division of Panabo City, the forefront of eradicating illiteracy.
Ayan, maraming salamat po, Ma'am Rhea Jean Pardillo of Panabo City National High School na nagbahagi sa atin ngayon ng kwento sa Filipino Junior High School na may pamagat po na ang pambihirang buhok ni Raquel, na talagang nagbigay sa atin ng aral na dapat hindi magbago ang pagtingin natin o pagmamahal natin sa ating mga hinahangaan or sa ating kapamilya or sa ating mga kaibigan kapag sila ay may sakit. So kung ano man yung karamdaman nila, dapat mas pahalagahan pa natin sila at hindi magbago yung trato natin sa kanila. At also magpasalamat tayo sa ibinigay ng Diyos para sa atin at mahalin din natin ang ating mahalin at pahalagahan din natin ng ating pamilya. At napaka-importante din na alagaan natin ang ating kalusugan, lalo na ngayon sa panahon ng pandemya, na dapat talaga tayong lahat ay mag-ingat at pangalagaan ang ating kalusugan at kumain ng mga masustansyang pagkain at iwasan natin ang magkasakit. At saka para matulungan natin ang bawat isa, so mag-remind tayo sa bawat isa, lalo sa pamilya natin. So mas maigi yun siya. So napakagandang kwento naman na binahagi sa atin ngayong araw. So this time, makikilala na natin ang ating story reader sa kwento ng mga pangulo. Ito po yung panghuli nating storya na maririnig ngayong araw na ibabahagi po sa atin ang ating tagapagsalaysay po natin ngayong araw ay galing po sa Theophanes G. Herona Senior Elementary School at ang kanilang reading program ay Mata, Makabasa, Tanan. And their school head is Sir Ronilo G. Revamonte. Hello sir, magandang umaga sa iyo sir. At ang kwento po na kanyang ibabahagi sa atin ngayong araw ay ang talambuhay ni Emilio Aguinaldo. Ito po ay ibabahagi sa atin ni Ma'am Mariel Joy P. Candolita.
Innovation, integration, industry-based learning, inspiration. This is the Division of Panabo City, the forefront of eradicating illiteracy.
Magandang araw, muli mga bata. Nandito naman tayo ngayon sa ating mga pangulo ng Pilipinas. At noong nakaraang Biyernes ay ating natunghayan ang unang episode ng buhay ni General Emilio Aguinaldo. Ngayon, ating pakinggan ang huling yugto ng kanyang kwento. Bago tayo pumunta sa kanyang kwento, ay magkakaroon muna tayo ng pagsusuri. Makinig kayong mabuti at sagutin ang ating tanong. Una, sino ang mga magulang ni Emilio Aguinaldo? A. Caterina Aguinaldo at Inigo Aguinaldo. B. Teodora Aguinaldo at Francisco Aguinaldo. Letter C. Carlos Jamir Aguinaldo at Trinidad Fami Aguinaldo. Ano sa tingin ninyo ang tamang sagot? Okay, so ang sagot dito ni Samantha is letter B. Ang sagot naman ni Ralph ay letter B. Tingnan natin kung tama ang sagot ninyo mga bata. Kung nakinig kayo noong nakaraang Biyernes ay tiyak na masasagot ninyo ay letter C. Ayan, si Carlos Jamir Aguinaldo at Trinidad Fami Aguinaldo. Pangalawang tanong. Kailan ipinahayag ni Emilio Aguinaldo ang kalayaan ng Pilipinas? A. Hunyo 12, 1889. Letter B. Hunyo 12, 1888. O letter C, Hulyo 12, 1888. Ano kaya ang tamang sagot? Okay, at ang tamang sagot ay letter B, Hunyo 12, 1888. Okay, sunod. Ngayon, ating pakinggan ang mga pakikibaka ni Emilio Aguinaldo sa ating bansa. Noong 1894, sumali si Aguinaldo sa Katipunan o ang KKK, isang lihim na samahang pinamunuan ni Andres Bonifacio na naglayong itaboy ang manlulupig na Kastila. at makamit ang kasarinlan ng Pilipinas sa pamamagitan ng dahas. Ginamit niya ang nom de guerre na Magdalo. Pantukol ito kay Maria Magdalena. Noong 17 ng Pebrero, 1897, natalo nina Aguinaldo at ilang katipunero ang pwersa na pinamumunuan ni Gobernador General Camilo de Polavieja sa labanan sa tulay ng Zapote sa Cavite. Ang probinsya ng Cavite ay naging importanteng lokasyon ng rebolusyon at dito rin nakanalo ng Magdalo ng marami laban sa Espanya. Biyak na bato. Ano kaya itong biyak na bato? Habang tumitindi ang tensyon, napilitan sina Aguinaldo na lumikas papunta sa mga bundok. Dito, pinirmahan niya ang kasunduan ng biyak na bato. Isisuko ni Aguinaldo ang kanyang gobyerno at itigil ang digmaan kapalit ng $800,000 bilang kapalit. Pinirmahan ito noong Disyembre 14 at 15, 1897. Noong Disyembre 23, umalis sila sa Pilipinas papuntang Hong Kong para lumikas. Dito, inayos ni Aguinaldo ang gobyerno at tinawag niyang Kataas-Taasang Konseho ng Bayan. Noong Abril 18, 1978, nagkaroon ng digmaan sa gitna ng Espanya at Estados Unidos sa labanan sa loob ng Maynila. Nanalo ang American Asiatic Squadron na pinamumunuan ni Commodore George Dewey at nasakop ang Maynila. Si Dewey ang nagbigay ng transportasyon kay Aguinaldo pabalik ng Pilipinas. Bumalik bigla si Aguinaldo sa kanyang posisyon at nilusob ang Maynila. Noong Mayo 24, diniklara niya na siya ang pinuno ng buong militar at nagtatag ng gobyernong diktatorial na siya bilang diktador. Noong Hunyo 12, diniklara niya ang kalayaan ng Pilipinas sa bahay ng mga Aguinaldo sa Cavite el Viejo at binasa ang batas na nagpapahayag ng kalayaan ng Pilipinas. Ito ay sinulat sa Baybay Kastila ni Ambrosio Rianzares Bautista, isang kapamilya ni Jose Rizal na siya rin ang bumasa. Mga katanungan. Okay, handa na ba kayong sumagot? Okay, ang unang tanong, kailan sumali si Aguinaldo sa lihim na samahan o KKK? A. 1873, B. 1874, o letter C. 1875. Okay, ang sagot ni Samantha ay letter B, ni Ralph letter B, ni Carl, letter B. Tingnan natin kung tama ang sagot ninyo. Tama! Ang tamang sagot ay letter B. Pangalawang tanong. Kailan natalo ni Aguinaldo ang pwersa ni Gobernador General Camilo de Polavieja? Kailan kaya yun? A. Pebrero 17, 1897. B. Pebrero 21, 1897. Letter C. Pebrero 25, 1897. At ang sagot ni Samantha at ni Maria is letter A. Ang sagot naman ni Adam, letter C. Okay, ang tamang sagot ay letter A. Pebrero 17, 1897. Ayun, tama si Unico. Ayan, pangatlong tanong. Ano ang tawag sa kasunduan na pinirmahan ni Aguinaldo na isusuko niya ang kanyang gobyerno at itigil ang digmaan? Ano ang tawag doon sa kasunduan na yun? A. KKK, B. Magdalo, o letter C. Biak na bato? Ano kaya ang sagot? At ang tamang sagot ay letter C. Biak na bato. Tama si Kyle, si Maria Sofia, si Unico, si Carl. Ayan, so maraming salamat sa pagsagot mga bata. At ang susunod, sino ang nagbigay ng transportasyon kay Aguinaldo sa Hong Kong upang makabalik siya sa Pilipinas? A. General Douglas MacArthur, B. George Dewey, o letter C. Mariano Trias? Sino kaya ang tumulong kay Aguinaldo? At ang tamang sagot ay letter B, si George Dewey. Ayan. So, susunod. Ngayon, atin namang tunghayan ang paghirang kay Emilio Aguinaldo. Si Emilio Aguinaldo ay isa sa mga pinakakilalang pinuno ng pakikibaka laban sa mga Kastila at nang lumaon laban sa mga Amerikano tungo sa kasarinlan ng Pilipinas. Namuno siya sa isang pag-aalsa laban sa pamahalaang Kastila noong taong 1876. Namuno rin siya sa ikalawang pagdigmaglaban ng Sandatahang Kastila noong taong 1878 habang kakampi ang mga Amerikano. Bilang pinuno ng himagsikan, isinakatuparan niya ang pagpapahayag ng kalayaan ng Pilipinas noong 12 ng Hunyo 1878. At siya ang itinanghal na unang Pangulo ng Republika ng Pilipinas noong 23 ng Enero 1879. Noong taong 1935, sa paghahanda ng isang pamahalaang Commonwealth, sa ilalim ng Estados Unidos, tumakbo siya sa pagkapangulo. Subalit, hindi na naig kay Manuel Quezon. Matapos ang muling paglaya ng Pilipinas noong 1946, binigyan siya ng katungkulan sa Philippine Council of State, na isang sangay ng pamahalaan na itinatag noong panahon ng Amerikano. Atin pakinggan ang mga programa ni Emilio Aguinaldo. Okay, ang isa sa kanyang mga nagawa o mga programa ay ang tungkol sa buwis. Sa pamumuno ni Aguinaldo, ipinagpatuloy muna ang paggamit ng pamamaraang Kastila sa maraming gawain ng pamahalaan, kasama ang pagsingil ng buwis. Subalit, hindi kasama ang sasabong at sa iba pang katuwaan. Binabaan din niya ang buwis sa digmaan at ang kusang loob na bigay ay tinatanggap. Inayos din niya ang kaparaanan sa pagbubuwis sa mga inaangkat at binuksan ang pambansang pautang. Sa pagtuturo naman, sa panahon ni Emilio Aguinaldo, pinabuksan kaagad ang mga mababang paaralan. Ang pag-aaral sa mababang paaralan noon ay sapilitan. Isang kautusan rin ang ginawa upang itayo ang Universidad Literaria o pamantasan sa mga kasulatan. Ang pamantasang ito ay nagbigay ng kaaralan sa paggamot, paninistis at pagpapatoong pambayan. Pangkabayanang pamamahala. Sa kautosang ito naman, ang mga lalaking may edad na 21 pataas ay dapat maghalal ng isang konseho popular o sangguniang bayan na binubuo ng isang pangulo, ikalawang pangulo, kapitan ng baryo, delegado ng katarungan, rehistrado sibil, delegado ng pulis at panloob na kaayusan, at delegado ng buwis at pagmamay-ari. Pagtitibayin ng pamahalaan ang mga halal na ito. Ngayon, paano kaya natapos ang pagkapangulo ni Emilio Aguinaldo? Noong Marso 23, 1901 ay nabuwag ang kanyang kapamahalaan nang siya ay madakip ng mga kalabang Amerikano. Matapos nito ay pumayag siyang manumpa sa katapatan sa Estados Unidos, ngunit nagpahiwatig ng kahapisan na sinasagisag ng pagsuot niya ng itim na korbata de lazo, hanggang sa tuluyang lumaya ang Pilipinas na naganap noong taong 1946. Namatay si Emilio Aguinaldo dahil sa atake sa puso sa Veterans Memorial Hospital sa Quezon City, Philippines noong Pebrero 6, 1964 sa edad na 74. Ang kanyang pribadong lupain at mansyon na kanyang naibigay sa mga nakaraang taon ay patuloy na nagsisilbing dambana sa rebolusyon para sa kalayaan ng Pilipinas. Okay, handa na ba kayo mga bata sa ating tanong? Okay, ang unang tanong, kailan itinanghal si Emilio Aguinaldo bilang unang Pangulo ng Republika ng Pilipinas? Kailan kaya yun? A. Enero 23, 1899. B. Pebrero 23, 1898. O letter C. Enero 23, 1901. Ang tamang sagot, merong sagot dito. Okay, ang daming sagot ni Adam. At ang tamang sagot ay letter A, Enero 23, 1899. Ayan, si Adam, si Maria, si Ira. Sino pa? Okay, ang pangalawang tanong. Sino ang naging katunggali at tumalo sa kanya bilang pagkapangulo noong itatag ang pamahalaang Commonwealth? Sino kaya ang tumalo kay Emilio Aguinaldo? A. Manuel Rojas. B. Manuel Quezon. O letter C. Manuel Trias. Sino yung nasa picture natin? Yan ang tumalo sa kanya. At ang tamang sagot? Letter B. Manuel Quezon. Ayan, tama si Genevieve, si Jo Marie. Ayan. Okay, at ang pangatlo, kailan natapos ang pagkapangulo ni Emilio Aguinaldo? A. Marso 13, 1901. Letter B. Marso 23, 1901. O Mayo 23, 1901. Kailan natapos ang kanyang nagiging pangulo? Ano ang sagot? Ang tamang sagot ay Marso 23, 1901. Ayan, tama si Maria, si Adam. Sino pa? Si Jo Marie, si Rain. Ayan. Okay, next. Ano ang dahilan ng pagkamatay ni Emilio Aguinaldo? A. Dahil ba ito sa tuberculosis? Letter B. Dahil ba ito sa pagbaril sa kanya ng mga Amerikano? Letter C. Dahil siya inatake sa puso. Okay, paano siya namatay? Ano ang sagot ninyo mga bata? Okay, tingnan natin kung tama ang sagot ni Kyle, ni Dwiles, ni Kyles, ni Jo Marie. Okay, ang tamang sagot ay letter C. Si Emilio Aguinaldo ay namatay dahil sa atake sa puso. Yan. Okay. Alam niyo ba mga bata na ang palayaw ni Emilio Aguinaldo ay Myong? Siya rin ang pinakabatang nahalal bilang presidente ng Pilipinas. Pinangalanan siyang Emilio ng kanyang ama galing sa martir ng pananampalatayang Katoliko na si San Emilio. Ang kanyang mga magulang ay isang mag-asawang mistisong Tagalog na Chino at 8 silang magkakapatid. Ayun. So hanggang doon na lamang ang ating kwento tungkol sa ating unang Pangulo na si General Emilio Aguinaldo. Sana marami kayong napulot na mga impormasyon tungkol sa ating unang Pangulo ng Republika ng Pilipinas. Ngayon, gusto niyo bang malaman kung sino kaya ang ating pangalawang Pangulo ng Pilipinas? Okay, so dapat abangan po ninyo yan sa susunod na mananalaysay natin dito lamang sa Reading Delights, mga Pangulo ng Pilipinas. Maraming salamat sa inyong pakikinig. Bye!
Innovation, integration, industry-based learning, inspiration. This is the Division of Panabo City, the forefront of eradicating illiteracy.
Maraming salamat sa ating tagapagsalaysay ngayong araw sa kwento ng mga Pangulo na si Ma'am Mariel Joy P. Candolita of TG Herona Senior Elementary School. Ayan. So natutunan o narinig natin ang talambuhay ni Emilio Aguinaldo, ang ating unang Pangulo, na siyang nangulo naman para sa ating kalayaan. Ayan. So maraming salamat sa iyo, ma'am, at I'm sure maraming natutunan ng ating mga tagapakinig ngayong araw. So yan na po ang ating huling tagapagkwento sa araw na ito. At marami kaming pasasalamatan. Unang-una sa ating mga live viewers. Hello sa inyong lahat. Magandang umaga, lalong-lalo na sa mga hanggang ngayon nakaantabay pa rin. Time check muna tayo. It's 10:53 in the morning. So magsha-shoutout muna tayo bago tayo magpasalamat sa lahat-lahat ng mga nakibahagi sa atin ngayong umaga. So, good morning kay Avril Faith Cabillon. You can actually post your shout-outs po sa ating comment section. And good morning to Yubei Jane Anahaw, kay Lian A. Navarroza. Good morning. And also from Ralph Sandre. Thank you po all teachers. Good morning. At maraming salamat din kay Maria Sofia Grumo. And also to Ace Colminien Bundok, Montelegre. Yan, magandang umaga sa iyo. At saka, magandang umaga rin kay Kylie Romari Ruth Kumighud. Ayan. And also, maraming salamat din kay Jomari Cantella. Ayan. So, ang dami-daming nag-post na kanilang comments. And thank you also to Kim Su, to Jules Albert Vergara, Bargayo. That's for you, Nico Saigel Igpit. Ayan. And also thank you to Adam Yu Ayog. Ang dami-daming nag-comment sa ating live today na I'm sure hindi natin mababasa lahat, pero nagpapasalamat kami sa inyong lahat sa walang sawa ninyong pagsuporta sa ating program sa Unlimited Stories for Reading Delights. Every Friday lang yan. And ang dami-dami, hindi ko mabasa lahat, no? So, magandang umaga. Tsaka, thank you so much. Magandang umaga rin kay Cyril Main Angulo, to Budoy Budoy, to Aliana Manlangan, to Jo Marin, nabasa ko na yung kanina. Kay Kate Falls, ayan. Magandang umaga. To Genevieve Omusora, Yan, magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. So sa mga nag-post kanina, magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Hindi ko na mababasa lahat ng yon. So maraming salamat sa inyong lahat, sa lahat na nakibahagi sa atin this morning. Ayan. So pasasalamatan muna natin ang ating mga story readers this morning na talagang nagbigay ng kanilang panahon sa pag-accept ng challenge po no na maging part ng ating program na maging story readers. So thank you to our Filipino story readers sa kinder to grade 3 na si Ma'am Emelita Flores of Rizal Elementary School at maraming salamat din sa inyong school principal na si Ma'am Ramelin F. Antalan at sa iyong pupil interactor na si Rhea Georgette Abarquez. Maraming salamat. At sa ating story reader sa English Kinder to Grade 3 na si Ma'am Jeneline C. Hamago. Thank you so much, ma'am. She's from San Vicente Elementary School. Maraming salamat din sa kanilang school principal na si Ma'am Rosemary S. Patriarca. And also sa ating science storyteller kanina, ay kauna-unahang storyteller natin sa science na si Ma'am Zenny Rose S. Castillo of Sindaton National High School. Thank you also to their school principal na si Ma'am Jean S. Bahaw. And also maraming salamat din sa kanyang student interactor kanina na si Jaira Dualio. And thank you also sa ating pang-apat na story reader kanina sa Junior High School English na si Ma'am LCO Iniego of San Vicente National High School. And maraming salamat sa kanilang school principal na si Sir Rustico P. Hernandez Jr. And also, sa ating Filipino na story reader kanina sa junior high school na si Ma'am Ria Jean Pardillo of Panabo City National High School. Thank you so much din po sa inyong school principal na si Ma'am Memia B. Infiesto. Maraming salamat po. At sa ating huling tagapagkwento kanina na si Ma'am Mariel Joy P. Candolita of TG Herona Senior Elementary School. Maraming salamat din po sa inyong school principal na si Sir Ronilo G. Revamonte, kanila pong school head. Ayan, maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. Sa lahat ng mga magulang na nakibahagi sa ating program na talagang nandyan, nakaantabay din para subaybayan ng kanilang mga anak o gabayan ng kanilang mga anak habang nanunood sa ating program. And we are still live from the station of New Visayas On Air, 99.0 AM radio for a good start. And we are also still live po sa DepEd Panabo Facebook page, sa YouTube channel po natin, and also sa Panabo City Division Reading Delights page. Live na live pa rin po tayo. And also sa ating Panabo Cable Channel 1, live na live din po tayo. Ayan. And also pasasalamatan natin, of course, the people behind the success of this program. Thank you to our DepEd officials, headed, of course, by our Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Renante A. Solitario, and sa ating Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, Ma'am Febigay L. Refamonte. Hello, Ma'am. Maraming salamat. At sa ating CID Chief na si Sir Januario Yamota, at sa ating SGOD Chief na si Ma'am Eileen Anyunuevo. Maraming salamat po. And of course, sa ating Division Reading Coordinator and Education Program Supervisor in English na si Ma'am Bembi Suelto. Hello, ma'am. Maraming salamat sa iyo. At sa ating Education Program Supervisor in Filipino na si Sir Peter Mijares. At sa ating Education Program Supervisor in MTB na si Ma'am Joanny Aguilar, maraming salamat po. At sa ating Education Program Supervisor in Araling Panlipunan na si Ma'am Marisa Vihayoma para sa ating kwento ng mga bayani at Pangulo. At sa ating Education Program Supervisor in Science na si Ma'am Helia Pueblo para naman sa panibagong episode natin na our session natin na science story po. Ayan, maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Silang lahat po ay nagtutulungan para lang po mapaganda yung program natin. Every Friday lang po yan dito sa Unlimited Stories for Reading the Night. So maraming salamat at lalong-lalo na sa ating Division Digital Media Production Team. Maraming salamat sa inyong lahat, no, na talagang nagtulong-tulong sila. Maraming salamat kay Sir June Aguilon, ang ating overall production director, to Sir Neil Michael Diases, ang ating floor director, to Sir Tyron Duhali, ang ating technical director, at si Sir Januario Yamota naman, ang ating station manager, and of course, ang ating executive producers, na ang ating Schools Division Superintendent Dr. Renante A. Solitario, at ang ating Assistant Schools Division Superintendent Ma'am Febigay L. Refamonte. Of course, wag natin kalimutan ng ating Panabo Cable Channel 1 family na sila Sir Alexander, Ma'am Alexander Chu at saka si si Sir James Chu. Ayan. Maraming salamat po. So maraming salamat din of course sa ating barangay officials sa New Visayas, headed by our barangay captain Honorable Mark Edward Peñas. And of course sa ating PWG po, sa Unlimited Stories for Reading the Lives, unang-una sa ating controller for today na si Sir Roland Beso. Hello, sir. Maraming salamat sa iyo. Sa aking kasamahan po na si Ma'am Kimberly W. Absin. And of course, sa aking kasamahan also na si Ma'am Lani Pausa na talagang nagtutulungan kami today para maging successful yung program natin. Sa iba pa namin kasamahan na dito sa Unlimited Stories for Reading the Lights, si Ma'am Aya Marie Cardona, and also to Ma'am Cathy Sarsalis, Sir Charlie May Alceron, and to Ma'am Jenny Buania, and of course to Ma'am Sheila Marie S. De Los Reyes. Ayan, maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. And of course, higit sa lahat, maraming salamat sa ating Panginoong Jesus sa pagbigay sa atin ng magandang araw ngayon na napakalamig, na I'm sure ang iba dyan, na kahit na anong oras na 11 o'clock na ng umaga, pero nakahiga pa rin, nakaano pa rin ng kumot. So that's okay, that's bed by as long as nakikinig pa rin kayo sa story natin this morning. May napulot kayong aral. Ayan. And of course, maraming salamat sa lahat ng mga magulang na sumusuporta sa atin. So ang dami-dami natin pinapasalamatan sa program natin na naging successful for this morning. And this has been Davy Love Ramos Villarmino saying, make reading a habit. So see you again next time na naman po, every Friday only here in Unlimited Stories for Reading Delights. So your Friday reading habit po. And God bless us all. Keep safe everyone. Bye!
Ay matutunan natin na maging matatag at matibay.
Sa kabila ng mga pinagdadaanan, patuloy sa pagbabahagi ng kaalaman, kaliwat ka na ng problema, ngunit kaagapay ang bawat isa.
Makakayanan ko, makakayanan mo. Mga unos sa buhay ay malalagpasan to, basta't magtiwala. Tayo'y may pag-asa.
Asahan mong kami ay gagabay sa'yo, liwanag ay abot sa anumang sulok ng mundo. Kami may tiwala, tunay na pinagpala. Kapag kakaisa ng bawat layunin ay makikita malasakit at ika'y diringgin.
Ilalayo sa pangamba, ilalapit sa pangarap, pangarap na makamit ang kinabukasan.
Sa kabila ng mga pinagdadaanan, patuloy sa pagbabahagi ng kaalaman, kaliwat ka na ng problema, ngunit kaagapay ang bawat isa.
malalagpasan to, basta't magtiwala. Tayo'y may pag-asa. Asahan mo, kami ay gagabay sa'yo. Liwanag ay abot saan magsulok ng mundo, kami may tiwala. Tunay na pinagpala.
Lipas ng oras ng buhay,
Baon-baon ang kaalamang hatid ng ating gabay.
di magatubilis kapag kamit ang ating hingin.
Ikaw at ako, maghahayag ng palibagong mundo.
Panibagong ikaw.
Makakayanan ko, makakayanan mo. Mga unos sa buhay ay malalagpasan to, basta't magtiwala. Tayo'y may pag-asa. Asahan mo, kami ay gagabay sa'yo. Liwanag ay abot saan magsulok ng mundo, kami may tiwala. Tunay na pinagpala. Makakayanan ko, makakayanan mo. Mga unos sa buhay ay malalagpasan to, basta't magtiwala. Tayo'y may pag-asa. Asahan mo, kami ay gagabay sa'yo. Liwanag ay abot saan magsulok ng mundo, kami may tiwala. Tunay na pinagpala.